Hello and welcome back, everybody, to the NBA 2K25 MyNBA expansion series. Following the Mexico City Aztecs, we're coming off a 2031 finals loss against the 41-41 Brooklyn Nets, who ended up departing with a couple of their key players from their championship roster. And we enter, obviously off those back-to-back finals appearances, we have completely retooled our roster around our core of John Cobb, Kylan Moore, and David Dennis. You'll notice that John Cobb has some new hair. We'll be seeing that in action here shortly. But aside from the slight growth we saw from John Cobb and Kylan Moore, we obviously signed Kylan Moore to a big 5-year rookie extension. John Cobb has 2 years left on his deal, including this season. And we acquired Jalen Williams in exchange for Jarris Walker and a swap of first-round picks. We got our first-round pick back from that previous Thunder trade a year ago, and we used that to select Jabari Ellis with pick number 28. We also took Irvin Norris in the second round, and we acquired both McDaniels and Mullen in an exchange for Cam Christie. So we got rid of Walker, got rid of Christie, acquired 3 other players to kind of fill in some gaps, save some money, but also kind of improve our overall depth across the board. We kept around Mark Williams, we kept around Herb Jones, we kept around McCaw, who saw quite a bit of growth in the offseason, and we also signed Marcus Sasser and Marvin Bagley, and we obviously still have Anton Kozlov as well. And that is your roster for year number 8. And we're probably going to go through the entire season here in this one episode. So buckle in, folks. Year 8 starts right now. So right now, I'm going to show you guys a screenshot of a spreadsheet I put together between this episode and the last one. And it's 5 different kind of options that we could use throughout the year in terms of the starting combination of our starting 5. Including a couple of our bench players. Option 1, you've got pretty much what I closed last episode with. So David Dennis, Herb Jones, Cobb, McDaniels, and Kylan Moore as your starting 5. Jones and McDaniels being those 2 kind of locked down on-ball defenders. Moore is also a great defender, but will have his lapses from time to time. Then Cobb at the 3. Dennis will be at points regardless of the rotation. You will always have Dennis, Cobb, and Moore in the starting 5 regardless of who else is out there. But for option 1, that brings Jalen Williams off the bench in a pretty large role alongside Dylan Young, Marcus Sasser, Maurice Mullen, Mark Williams, and Brandon McCaw. I do plan for us to go at least 11 deep for the bulk of this year. That should keep most of our bench players fresh. It should keep guys like Herb Jones and McDaniels fresh because they won't be playing a lot. They'll be playing in the key moments, but not a whole lot in the kind of meat of the games. And then option 2, you've got Dennis at point, but then Cobb at the 2, which means that Jalen Williams comes in to be your 3. McDaniels and Moore stay in your starting 5. So this kind of moves Herb Jones to a bench role. You still have that lockdown defender and McDaniels in your starting 5, and you still have Young, Sasser, Mullen, Williams, and McCaw coming off your bench as well. Option 3, you have Herb Jones in there, but not McDaniels, and that brings Williams in as the power forward, although a bit undersized at power forward. That is his natural position based on the initial roster from when I began this series. So that's still where he, I think, can play very well. I prefer him at the 3, but I think between him and Cobb playing power forward, you definitely want Williams there over Cobb because he plays there naturally. Then for option 4, I'm probably not going to use this unless we absolutely have to for whatever reason this year, but this would be kind of going back to that double big lineup that we had to close the finals last year, with Moore at the 4 and Mark Williams at the 5. This lineup has Jalen Williams come in to be your small forward, Cobb at the 2, and then McDaniels, Herb Jones, Young coming off your bench. But this would also kind of force us to use Marvin Bagley, which would make us go 12 deep. So then you kind of stretch Your minutes thin for guys like Mullen, McCall, and Young because they're all pretty much playing the same position. And then option 5, you've got Dylan Young in there as a starter, Cobb at the 2, and McDaniel's back in there at the 4, bringing Jalen Williams off your bench alongside Jones and the other group. So a lot of different combinations. We could probably still have a couple different lineups if you want to, aside from these 5, but I think these 5 are probably the best ones. And we're going to start off with option 1, and this is the rotation. I did elect to go with what y'all were saying, give him McCall some playing time. You know, he went up by 5. We'll see if he shoots better this year and kind of comes into his own and, you know, perhaps earns a bigger role. But I think the ultimate goal of this year is to find, 1, a starting 5 that works, and number 2, to find out who our best bench players are, because come playoff time, we're going to have to trim this lineup down to probably 9 guys at first, and then 8 once we get deeper into a playoff run, if that ends up happening. So right now, here's the rotation. In all of the ones where Young is coming off our bench, I do actually have him getting some time at point guard, but only for like 2 small stints there in the first half, to kind of take away some minutes from Sasser and see if Young can give us some playmaking, because missing Cam Christie off that trade, Sasser's not really the best, you know, passing point guard. He's more of a scoring point guard, so somebody else has to fill that role. And I think Cobb could also potentially see some time at point guard because we have so many guards that can also play forward. I think he's one guy that has high playmaking skills and can play at the point guard when Dennis is not on the floor. But I guess we'll cross that bridge once we get there. As for player mentorships, I am going to follow y'all's advice and have Dylan Young be mentored by Herb Jones to hopefully eventually work him into being kind of a go-to lockdown defender. He's 24 years old, so plenty of time to work on that. He definitely has reached his peak in terms of his ratings, but the badges have a massive impact. He's actually very close to earning bronze challenger, and with Herb Jones being a Hall of Fame mentor level with that and pick dodger, that should hopefully by year's end get Dylan Young to at least earn a couple new badges, because he did lose 3 once we signed him. So he went from 11 badges down to 8. I had no idea which ones he lost, but he definitely lost a couple. And if that's going to happen, I think we got to work on training him up to be more of a defensive player, because the offense might be taking a step back here soon. And in terms of the initial contending teams, we are, of course, one of them. You've also got the Atlanta Hawks, at least right now, but I kind of disagree. They have a solid overall roster, and they're fairly deep, but they don't really have like a star player that's going to take over every game like we do. You've also got the Kings, and they have really kind of built pretty poorly around Kibu Miller, so I'm not really sure if they're going to actually be a contender. They've already lost 1 game this year. The Magic makes a lot of sense over in the East. They have a pretty fantastic starting 5. They have a good 6-man coming off their bench. The Mavericks brought in Robert Dillingham after he left his 1-year deal from Brooklyn, and we'll see if they end up being a force for us to contend with here in the Western Conference. You've also got the Rockets, as you might expect. That's already, I think, 4 Western Conference teams, so maybe it's 3. And then the Wizards. I think they're the last one besides us, and they have a great starting 5, a couple of good players coming off their bench as well. So we got a couple teams from the East, a couple teams from the West, but the Nets were not listed as a contender last year, and they went all the way. So we'll see if that ends up meaning anything, but we're going to get through likely the entire regular season here in this one, so buckle in, folks. We are about to dive into a full season worth of action here. I might end up doing 2 full showcase games, with that one of those probably being opening night here against the Cavaliers on the road. And then we'll go from there. We'll jump in for a lot of close fourth quarter games. We're going to skip the All-Star break. I probably won't make a trade unless we absolutely have to, but I doubt we do because we have so many options for us to go to. And we'll probably watch a showcase game around the All-Star break. once we know more about where this year might end up being headed. All that being said, folks, let's dive into opening night here at Rocket Mortgage Fieldhouse on the road against the Cleveland Cavaliers. We faced these guys 2 years back at the NBA Finals and took them down pretty swiftly. Let's just do it again to get off to a strong start. And year number 8 is officially underway. Kylan Moore wins the tip, and here we go. Number 14, in green, a new player on this roster, Jaden McDaniels. Welcome to our squad. We start off with a turnover. David Dennis, a bad screen. He's not happy. Downhill, back out, catch and shoot 3 offline from Mitchell to open things up here. And now we go quick, up to Kylan Moore, assisted by Herb Jones. And he kicks off our season with a jam. Screen sent by Mobley, Garland back to him in the corner, picked up by McDaniels. Now it's Mitchell, contested 3, and it's up and in the face of Herb Jones. Shot clock under 5 here for the offense. Herb Jones just rises and connects on his first shot of the season. And it's our first time seeing him in a long time coming off that torn Achilles. But now he's back to full health at 33 years old. Back in our starting 5. Glad to have him back on this team. Inside, Mobley back out to Mitchell. Now waiting for a screen. Creating some space, and once again knocking it down from behind the arc. Good cut by Dennis. Nobody home for Cleveland. Aztecs in front. Now Garland cuts and flips it up and in at the hoop. Cobb with it, dished out, open triple. McDaniels can't hit, but it's a good look. We'll take shots like that. Screen from Jared Allen. Garland picks up his dribble, finds Winston, now Mobley. Shot clock under 5. They gotta find a good look. Garland can't cash in from deep. Good pass back out. Dennis off the back iron, no good. Jared Allen pulls down the miss. They lob it up, and there's nobody home. Evan Mobley goes up and gets it. Cavaliers off to a 4 for 6 shooting start. Dennis rifles it to John Cobb. Deflected at the rim, but gets it back and scores his first points here in year number 8. What do you guys think of the new John Cobb haircuts? Now Winston dashes inside. That one's going to go as the help got there late. Defense not off to the best start. Cobb has his triple denied now by Winston. That's now twice he has gotten a good contest up. And now Garland's left open for a 3, but that one rattles out. And Kylan Moore pulls down the miss. Herb Jones, a foot inside the arc, has now 5 points on the night. Nearly half of our own. Driving and foul. That's Winston. The first on Cobb here tonight. Notice that every player has some tweaked, shoe colorways and whatnot. Just trying to freshen things up. Winston goes 1 for 2. Off-ball screen set for Cobb, but Winston gets around it. Now Cobb isolates, drives, and cannot finish through the contacts. We get it right back off a turnover from Mobley. Fast break, McDaniels, the hoop and the harm. The first on Mobley, and the free throw for McDaniels is up and good. Good cut. Nick Smith lays it up and in off the Mobley assist. Cobb trying to get himself online, but now just a slow 1 for 5 start for number 8 out there in green. Evan Mobley fouled on the other end. The first on Kylan Moore, who's only got 2 points so far. Last year, Mobley played all but 3 games. Averaged over 20 points per game, over 11 rebounds. The free throws are both good. Out of an Aztecs timeout, David Dennis tries his luck from the mid-range, but can't connect. Cavaliers up 3 here about halfway through the first quarter. We'll be seeing Jalen Williams here in a moment once there's a next dead ball. The jumper for Garland will go. Trying to get Cobb open. He's covered well. Dennis just pulls up again, but that one will dance around the rim and eventually fall through. Little size up from Garland. He drives and draws the second on David Dennis. Now we'll be able to, that will be a chance to bring in Dylan Young and Jalen Williams now. So they come in for Herb Jones and McDaniels. Cobb, Dennis, Moore all stay out there. Screen set by the Blueprints. Cobb downhill, but picks up his dribble. Now here we go, the brand new Aztec Jalen Williams. Mid-range jumper, in and out. Over the top to Evan Mobley. Moore kind of had his head turned around. And right now, I'm really not a fan of our defense at all. Moore attacking the basket and picking out the first on Allen. Free throws on the way. Run in for Kylan Moore. Up and good. No three-point attempts for him just yet. We'll be keep an eye out for if those will go for him, because obviously last year and especially in the playoffs, he was not shooting his best from behind the arc. Sasser now out there, and McDaniels back on the floor as Sasser gives up the easy deuce to Garland. And we have allowed 25 points already. Alan Moore's calling for it. Backing down Allen. The lefty fade won't go, but he's got Hall of Fame hook specialist, I think it's called, or somewhere around there. There's a turnover right there. Marcus Sasser picks up the steal, but McDaniels can't cash in on the other ends. Kept alive, though, by Moore. Cobb's open, and finally gets one to drop. Over the top. Wow. That was way too easy for former Aztec Naz Reid. Williams finds some space, rattles off a triple, and that one's going to go for his first points here with the Aztecs. Welcome to Mexico City. That cuts the Cavs' lead in half back to 3. Garland again cuts and again scores. I think half their points have come on cuts right down the lane. Quick 3 again. No good, but Moore tracks it down. Put back offline. Had some trouble scoring inside the paint here. 9 boards for Cleveland, only 6 for us. Good pass. And Allen throws it down. Another assist for Garland. He's played the entire first quarter so far. Kylan Moore steps into a jumper. That one's going to go. Naz Reid dumped inside. It's Garland. Left it short this time. Cavaliers now just 12 for 16. They've been off to an incredibly hot start. Cobb still trying to get himself fully on track. Back out. Smith, catch and shoot 3. These guys can't miss anything. All the way up ahead, and we just caught their defense sleeping. John Cobb, the assist to his big man buddy, Kylan Moore. Off the screen, Garland tries one from long range. That one a little bit wayward. 6-point lead for Cleveland. Cobb drives and scores. Tough bucket right there. Allen comes over, sets a screen. Garland gets around it and lost the ball. Cobb picks up the steal as he tracks down the loose change. And now the final play of the first quarter. Hop stepping, back out, corner 3, and Moore connects. And we close the Cleveland lead down to 1. And Kylan Moore, 1 for 1 from 3-point land. Now we have a game. Second quarter underway, and we have our first Braden McCaw sighting of the new season. Naz Reid, left open, can't knock it down. Where have we seen that before? Back in the first couple years of this franchise, he was bricking all kinds of open looks. But now a chance to jump in front for the first time in a while. The jackhammer, emphatic slam. Moore's got 13 points out of nowhere and is shooting very well to start off year 8. 35-34 in favor of the Aztecs. Here's Mobley to stuff it home. Cleveland retakes the lead. We go up ahead quick, and Williams is all the way up there. Nobody near him. We've already got 10 lead changes, 1 tie. Could be in for a little back and forth first half here. Here's a quick 3 for Purdue. That one dances off. Young Young pulls it down. I think he's in there at point guard right now, while Dennis takes a rest. Pull up 3. That one's off target for Jalen Williams. We got Cobb on Mobley here for some reason. Shot clock winding down. Mobley's going to have to shoot this. And it's no good, but he got it back. Second chance. 3 in there from Purdue. Inside. Kylan Moore over Mobley off the backboard and good. We are all knotted up here at 39 apiece. Inside to Purdue now. Backing down to Williams. Wow. Tough bucket. Out to Cobb. His 3. Up and out. Moore gets the rebound. Second chance. In there for Jalen Williams. Way to keep it alive. Kylan Moore. Timeout Cavs. After a Cleveland timeout, they dump it inside to Mobley, who draws number 2 on Moore. A pair of free throws on the way. Mobley kind of scoring out well inside the paint. So far in this one, they've scored most of their points from inside. The free throws are good. Inside to Moore. Defense once again caught off guard as Dennis checks in and picks up an immediate assist to his best buddy, Kylan Moore, the blueprint. Naz Reid, dumped down low. Mobley again, going to work. Backing down Kylan Moore. Got him up in the air. Opens up the basket for an easy look. Moore at the nail. Fades over Mobley. No good. And Nikola Topic pulls down the rebounds. Inside. Mobley over the undersized Dennis. He is catching fire. Little pick and roll. And that's going to be another easy deuce for Kylan Moore. He's got 19 points, 8 for 11. Downhill. Mobley spins. But no good. And now Kylan Moore is taking over. Good pass, open jumper, but Dennis can't knock it down. Mobley again just gets touch after touch. Got the offensive rebound, but the putback 3 won't go for Topic. Got to box out better here on the defensive end here and just not allow those offensive rebounds. David Dennis for 3, no good. That's like the 3rd or 4th O-board for Kylan Moore here in this one. Jalen Williams pulls up and hits it. We're back in the lead. Here's Winston back on the courts. Going up against McCaw. Gives it up to Nick Smith Jr. His jumper is offline. I want to see some better defense by us. That was a good start. Kylan Moore continues his hot starts. Garland and Mitchell both back out there for Cleveland. Naz Reid calling for it against Jalen Williams inside. Back out, open 3, and Garland missed it. Lucky break. Hand off to Cobb. He thought twice about that 3. Good job to thwart that by Winston. He's played good defense so far, but the Cavaliers cannot contain the blueprints. Good cut. Never mind. Pass cut off by Dennis. Read that one after they beat us on that play a lot. And another 2-point basket for Moore. I think he's got half our points by now. Absolutely lighting it up here in Rocket Arena. Now Mobley wants it. He'll step back and hits. Bit of isolation here. Dennis trying to work his way inside. Spins, but gets blocked by the rim. Gets his own miss back. Moore up and over Mobley. Will not be denied. Mitchell blows by Herb Jones. Met by the wall of Kylan Moore. And he goes right through it. The bucket and the third foul on Kylan Moore. The free throw from Mitchell cuts our lead down to 4. Sasser finds Cobb wide open. That's gotta be a 3-point make right there. We cannot afford to miss shots like those come playoff time. I get it's only opening night, but you don't want to be seeing those later in this season. Screen set. Mitchell's got room, and he knocks it down. Cobb could learn from him. Now Williams comes over, sets a pretty bad screen. Now Moore with a good one. Cobb inside, high off the window and in. Timeout Cavs. Shot clock under 5 for Cleveland. Garland steps back, has to fire, and he missed it. We go quick. Cobb's 3. Finally got one to drop here in the quarter, and it doubles our lead. Mitchell steps back with the crossover move, misses that shot, and Williams comes down with the rebounds. Now Jalen Williams, right through traffic, had it blocked by Obi Toppin off the backboard. Cleveland going the other way. Mitchell has room, he's fouled, and the 3's gonna count! A 4-point play on the way from Spida Mitchell. That was a foul against John Cobb. Free throw is good. What a highlight there for Donovan Mitchell. Cobb working against Mitchell now, trying to get one back on him. Drives, but misses at the hoop. Mobley the screen. Garland to tie. Yes! Here's Sasser dashing inside, kicked out to Cobb, can't knock it down. We got Moore back on the floor. He's been our best player by far tonight. The Winston 3 won't go. We are still tied here at 61. Jalen Williams steps back and cashes in on that little jump shot. Garland back out to Mobley, gets it back, little 1-2 punch here, but his 3s have been very inconsistent here. I think our off-ball defense has been really bad. On-ball defense has actually been pretty decent for the most part, but the all-ball defense, especially back in the first quarter, was very poor. Kylan Moore, another offensive rebound and put back. I mean, this dude is on a different plane of existence right now. 29 points, 13 for 17 already. He is doing it all for the Aztecs. Both teams have shot the ball incredibly well as Mobley tracks down the miss and puts it back in. Last play here in the first half of opening night in year number 8. Deep 3 for Cobb. Beats the buzzer by 2 seconds. And that will send us to halftime leading by 5. Way to end that half on a strong note, John Cobb. High-octane offense, fast-paced game. Let's keep it going. Second half now underway after a dominant first half display from Kylan Moore, dropping 29 points. Can he keep it up? Can John Cobb find his rhythm coming off that big shot to close the first half? Let's find out. We lead it by 5. Starting 5 back out there alongside Herb Jones, McDaniels. McDaniels is 0 for 3 now from downtown here in this game. Off the screen from Allen. Mitchell from the corner. Can't hit. Kylan Moore, a good box out of Allen to pull down the miss. Herb Jones from the corner. Wide open. Cashes in from deep. This guy is just such a good three-point sniper, man. I'm so glad he's back. What a shot from Mitchell, and it's good. That was tough. He's got 19 points now and shooting lights out. From the high post, Moore throws it up, tracks it down. I mean, this dude is on a different level right now. What is that, like 6 offensive boards already? He is going crazy. Mitchell attacks Jones and draws a shooting foul. It's going to be number 1 on him. Not necessarily liked his defense of Mitchell in this game, but of course, you can't always expect your lockdown guys to lock down superstars like Mitchell. It's kind of a battle back and forth. I think you're going to usually either have a guy going off for a big game, like Mitchell is right now, or him getting completely locked down, which we've seen before, but it's not right now. Out to McDaniels. He'll try again, but right now could not seem to hit the easy ones. Mitchell, catch and shoot. Top of the key. That one dances out. McDaniels pulls down the miss. Quick pass up ahead. Shot's no good from Herb Jones. Now Mobley tries his luck from long range. That one comes off. John Cobb the rebounds. McDaniels looks to attack, but now he lost the ball. Mobley the steal. Up ahead. Mitchell in the corner working against Herb Jones. Finds Darius Garland. Allen with the triple. What? McDaniels once again drives. This time he's able to draw the foul. But so far he has struggled both on offense and defense. Free throws on the way though. Front end goes. And McDaniels is now 3 for 4 at the line tonight. 3-point lead for the Aztecs here. Mobley right to the rack. Why is Cobb guarding him? What happened? 16 lead changes, 3 ties. Cobb steps back behind the line and absolutely buries it. Allen comes up with the screen. Mitchell into a triple, cannot respond. Up ahead to McDaniels, behind Mobley. That's going to be the easiest bucket for him so far tonight. Good pass there by Kylan Moore. And our lead extends back to 6. Catch and shoot 3 for Winston, but that one comes out. Dennis rises, no good. He's been kind of cold here on his jump shots in this one. Mobley against McDaniels. Back to Mitchell, now Garland. The screen from Mobley. Rolling, backdoor, picked off by McDaniels. There we go. There's that defense that I was waiting for. Moore, the fast break, lay it. He is fouled on his way up by Mitchell. I think right here, this game is kind of a perfect example of games that you want to see us win very often. Games where we're not really having much luck defensively. Can the offense keep up with their offense and outpace them by game's end? Or can our defense play better in one half or another? I think that's going to be the key, of course, to winning most of our games against playoff teams like the Cavaliers are. Mitchell searching for some room, misses the triple. Good box out there by McDaniels. Up ahead, Dennis throws it down. What a play. Allen the pick, a step back 3 on the line from Donovan Mitchell. Herb Jones waiting for the screen. It's a pick and roll over the top. Kylan Moore again. Tough shot in the face of Jones. Mitchell can't knock it down. We're going to push the tempo here as Dennis drives and lays it in with the Euro step. What a move. And we have now shot 55% here in this game. The Cavaliers have dropped down from about 60% to 52%. Our offense has not really been that good here in the quarter, although it is picking up some steam as of the last few minutes. But our offense came out absolutely firing. Here's Jones. Has McDaniels wide open. He won't take that 3 attempts, but now he will. And still can't knock it down, and Moore tips the rebound off the side of the backboard. The Cavaliers get it. Mitchell can't cash in. McDaniels reels in the rebounds. Mismatch inside now. Moore's calling for it. Kicked out. Wide open 3. Cobb again. Laces one from deep. Winston fires, but cannot answer back with one of his own. A 12-point lead for the Aztecs now. Jones makes it 14. And a strong third-quarter surge has propelled us to a double-digit cushion. Can the Cavaliers find a way back in? Back out. Good pass. Mobley's open and rattles that one home. What a pass. Somehow got by Garland, but Dennis has got to hit that, and that's a wide open layup. And so far, we have not had any subs at all this quarter because there have not really been many dead balls at all, and no fouls really, except for a couple to open the quarter. There's one right there to pretty much answer my commentary. So in comes Jalen Williams and Dylan Young. And Mullen for the first time, who was supposed to appear in the first half but never really got his chance. That will happen on a couple of games. What a lob up to Jared Allen. Mullen attacking. Nick Smith throws it up and in for his first points with the Aztecs. And that was his first touch of the ball game, so welcome to Mexico City again to one of our new players. Here's Mobley now, drawing out Jalen Williams. Looking to drive on him, it looks like. Right to the rack, missed it, gets it back. It's blocked by Maurice Mullen of all people. What a play. Now he's open for 3, fires it, and passes in. What a sequence in his first minute off the bench, Maurice Mullen. Dished out to Mobley, his 3. Too strong. Mullen pulls in the rebound. He's already got like 5 different stats. Kylan Moore again gets backdoor for the jam. And now we have our largest lead of the night so far. And we steal it. Mullen strips Allen and gets the assist to Kylan Moore. Mullen just came in and absolutely took over on both ends. Absolutely incredible. And now a bad screen by Mitchell off ball gives it right back to us. What a third quarter, man. Now we've got Sasser and McCaw out there alongside Williams, Cobb, and Moore. Cobb drives. Nearly got the end one. That's the first foul against Cameron Purdue. So a pair of free throws on the way for John Cobb, who has found his stride here in this second half. And the free throws are both in. He and Moore now both taking over. Here's Nikola Topic trying to find a way inside the paint, and they're going to call it a foul, really? That was for sure a clean block. A 20-point lead going to get cut down by a point or 2 here. Maybe just a point. We'll probably just sim the fourth quarter and continue our season. But a really fun start. Had a really back and forth first half. But we came out absolutely lacing shots here and playing a lot better defense in this second half. And that's going to lead us to a win most likely. What a tough shot there for Sasser. Mobley Drives right by Moore. No resistance from the Aztecs defense this time around. He's got 25. Cobb has a lane. Drives it. Pumps a couple of times. The offense has to reset here. Sasser. Oh, he traveled. Last play of the third quarter here. Topic whipped inside. Mobley, the short fade, no good. And we lead 105-86. What a quarter, man. The offense has been elite in this game, even after our kind of slow start back in the first. Sim all the way to the end as the Cavaliers will get within 20 points, but we take it 129-111 behind a dominant third quarter and especially a dominant first half from Kylan Moore. He did foul with like 35 seconds to go in the game, but a dominant opening night win to open year 8. Hopefully a sign of things to come. Only 3 players for the Cavaliers score in double figures, as Allen and Nick Smith were both a point shy. Double-doubles for Garland, and that's about it. Mobley and Mitchell both dropped 30-plus here in this game. But Kylan Moore drops an amazing triple-double to open the season, 41, 18, and 10. And he and Kyle played a bit more than they should have, but it's because there were just not many dead balls being called when they were on the floor there in the middle of the first and third quarters. But what a game by him. I think Cobb had a pretty poor first half, but played a lot better down the stretch, especially in that third quarter and to close the second quarter. Dennis, Williams, Jones all pour in double figures as well as McDaniels goes 1 for 6 from downtown. Mullen 4 for 4. And picks up a stat in every category. That was a pretty awesome sequence by him. He barely played, but did a lot with his playing time. Sasser 5 points, 2 for Williams, and then no points on no shots for Dylan Young. And McCall had a complete Tony Snell game. Zeros across the board, but we had a good plus minus when he was out there, so can't really complain. We shoot 54%. 36 behind the line, only took 11 free throws, but shot them very well. And we beat them in pretty much every category. So we'll take that. And we did have 11 steals that game as well, but now it's time for some simming. Again, I'll sim the first 13 or so games, and I'll come back, and if we're playing very well, I want to keep our lineup as is. And if we want to try a different lineup, that'll probably just go to option 2. And see if that plays any better. But let's dive into more of these games. In our very next game, we have a very close affair against the Knicks, who have outscored us by 10 here in the fourth quarter. They lead it by 5. 4:15 left to go. Can we come back and hold them off? So we are here in Madison Square Garden. Trailing by 5. Dennis misses that jump shot. It's pulled in by the Knicks. Gafford out to the first overall pick. That's Mingyu Zhang. A 7-foot-tall big out of China. And apparently he can knock down threes. Little pick and roll. And Moore gets behind Gafford for the deuce. Can we rely on our stars to close out this game and lead a little comeback charge? Time counting down. Zhang is going to have to pull the trigger here. And that shot's also good. In the mouth of McDaniels. 3 minutes to go. 3 starters. About to check in next dead ball for New York. with their first-round pick playing like this, might want to keep the guy out there to close this game out. Cobb, right back to the pick and roll, but Moore missed it this time. Gafford there on defense. What is that shot? Horrible idea from Peyton Watson. Kylan Moore pulls it down. Our 5 starters out there right now. Moore back out. Cobb's wide open. Gotta have it. It's tipped back in by Moore. Oh, block. Couple of handoffs here, and Weber's called for a 3 in the key. And that will allow their 3 players to come back in to close the game out. We trail by 6. The door is still open. Need a couple of baskets and a couple of stops back to back to back. Here's Dennis working against Brunson. Bucket and foul, just what the doctor ordered. That's the second on Brunson. The free throw from Dennis will cut the lead in half. 3-point game now. We're chipping away. Brunson steps back, and it's off the back iron, too strong. A 3 could tie it up. Don't have to force it, though. Moore, mismatched inside, 1-point ball game. I think Knicks fans have seen plenty of this as of late in real life. Jang stand out there, throws it up and out off the back iron. Moore pulls it down. He'll blow right through the defense, gets it blocked, but McDaniels is right there to put it back in. It's a 9-0 run for the Aztecs. It's still not our first lead here in this game, as the little ticker says down below, but it's our first lead since the early goings of the 4th quarter. And now it's the Knicks who trail. Brunson playing some hero ball. Can't connect. McDaniels the rebound. A bucket here could be huge. And Moore gets right to the rack. What a crazy comeback. We trailed by 8 like 2 minutes ago. New York trailing by 3, and Jang turns it over. Waits. I guess that ball was tipped by McDaniels, but still a good play by him on defense regardless. Coming off that nice offensive rebound off the Gafford block. 41.6 left. Brunson for the tie. Nails it! Timeout, Aztecs. We are in for a nail-biter now. Cobb to Jones to Moore. Back out, wide open 3. McDaniels cashes it in. After going 1 for 6 last game, hits a big shot here in crunch time after a couple of nice plays on both ends. The Knicks will use their final timeouts. We've got an 11-second clock differential here. They inbound to Jalen Brunson. He'll look to attack the basket as we're used to. And Dennis mistakenly fouls him. Another 3-point play from Jalen Brunson. And the game is tied again. We inbound to David Dennis. We can save for the final shot here in regulation, or at least what would be with like 3 seconds left. And we are going to milk the clock here. Who do we go to? I think it's going to be Kylan Moore. I mean, why not? He's been playing well. He calls for it against Gafford. Throws it up and no good. They have no timeouts. We're going to go to overtime probably. Gafford from the logo. Oh my God, that almost went. This game has been a true Knicks game. We're going to OT here in just our second game of the season. And the tip-off of OT is won by Daniel Gafford. Here we go. All 5 starters out there for both teams. Brunson fires, misses. Moore the rebounds. Uh-oh. Moore has a lane. Easy deuce for him. Gafford comes over, sets the screen. Brunson over the top on the pick and roll, and Gafford misses the lay-in. Jones tracks it down and coughs it up. Zhang the steal. 2-on-1. Parker to Gafford. Defense gets back quickly. Brunson step back off the back iron. No good. Got a mismatch somewhere. Dennis against Zhang. Out to Jones. Shot clock under 5. Jones attacks the basket, gets by Parker, and throws it down. He's got 12 points, is yet to miss. Cobb tried to swipe at the ball, and Parker gets the basket plus the foul. That's the 4th on him. Another 3-point play by New York here in a big moment. They've closed our lead down to 1. Good screen by McDaniels. Herb Jones back to him for the open tray ball. That one's offline. And Longley pulls it down. That's Anderson Longley. Brunson blows by Dennis. A foot inside the arc. Jump shot not falling right now, though, for him. Got about half of overtime left. Cobb waiting for a screen, has plenty of space, and got it to drop. 4-point lead. Brunson swatted, absolutely denied out of bounds by the Blueprints. Who else could it be? He's been so good these first 2 games. Brunson stepped out of bounds. Aztecs take over. Double screen setting up. Cobb from way downtown. I want to find a better look than that, but I mean, he can knock those down easily. Brunson again looks to drive. I mean, got to get used to that. He's going to draw those time and time again. He's like SGA, very good at drawing those fouls. Front end is up and good. And Brunson has 19 points and closes our lead in half. Inside, more below the rim, through contact, the and one. A 3-point play in response, and the free throw from Moore is up and good. Our lead extends to 5. Gafford, the screen, rolling. Moore sticks with them, and he also blocks the shot from Brunson. They get it back. Contested 3. In and out. Defense has been special here in overtime by Kylan Moore. And now he's calling for the rock. He's double teamed, trying to fight through it. That one dances off the rim. Under 50 seconds left. Just got to protect the lead now. No easy ones. That shot's blocked. But Zhang gets it back and puts it in for 2. And now Dennis coughs it up. No! Brunson the steal. And the finish. Wow, what a sequence for New York. 1-point game now. They're going to have to foul us, it looks like. That will put us at the line for a pair of free throws. David Dennis. A couple of big ones to open our season. And he misses the back end. A rare miss at the line for David Dennis. A 3 can put the Knicks in front. Brunson. Backhanded pass to Parker. Hill. Think twice about a 3. Shot clock under 5. Gafford back out. Longley, the 2 offline. 1.6 left. And this game is gonna be over, you would have to think. Just gotta knock down both. The front end is good from Kylan Moore. Crunch time free throws to put the game on ice. They will advance the ball with their penultimate timeout. But not enough time left to walk away with the win here in the Garden. Gafford will inbound. It's going to be Brunson. Wide open 3. No good. And the Aztecs come all the way back from 8 down with like 2 minutes left to go or something like that. And we steal one here on the road. A true Knicks loss. And we're 2-0. A lot of players within double figures for New York. 3 players dropped 21 or more. But we get another masterpiece out of Kylan Moore. 35 and 21. And 4 blocks to go along with it. Pairs of steals for both Herb Jones and McDaniels. A really solid pair of wins to open up this season. But how about the 3-point shots in this game? Both teams took more than 45 attempts. Incredibly high. In the rematch of last year's finals, we moved to 3-0. Taking this game by 7 points despite 30 for Zach Webb. We get 30 and 13 for Kylan Moore. It's been a slow start shooting-wise for John Cobb, but Moore is off to a fantastic opening to our season. 13 points off the bench for Dylan Young, 10 and 10 minutes for Maurice Mullen. Really solid games for both of those guys. And another good day from behind the arc, 42% coming off the 40% game against New York. And we have won 3 straight road games to open the season. 149 against OKC. We were blowing these guys out last year too. And in this game, our trio of core players really played well together. We also got 22 off the bench from former Thunder player J-Dub, who drops 5 for 9, shooting 10 for 10 from downtown. Another great day off the bench from Mullen. He's been a spark plug for us offensively. Triple-double here for SGA, but in a losing effort. But our first loss comes against the Grizzlies behind big days for Ja Morant, Gonzalez, and Elijah Banks as they move to 4-0. Despite a pretty solid day for Cobb and a relatively good day for Kylan Moore, we lose. We only shot 42%. Did not really take our threes very well. We took 41 of them, but only hit 11. So a pretty bad percent there. And we also had a lot of turnovers. Back in the win column, though, double-doubles for Kylan Moore and John Cobb. Our core trio once again plays very well together with many points coming from many different role players. 25 and 12 for Jalen Smith in the loss. Meanwhile, the Chicago Bulls moved to a fantastic 7-0 start, beating us 126-120. 31 for Gene Teague here. Dennis drops 26 and 10, but had 6 turnovers, and Moore had his worst day of the year to date. And then Cleveland gets revenge on their opening night blowout loss, despite another good day for Kylan Moore. John Cobb shot the rock pretty poorly. Dennis 14 and 12. We just could have used a bit more offense from John Cobb. Going 8 for 25 is not going to cut it. 20 plus for Mobley, Garland, and Nick Smith Jr. A lot of other guys in double figures too. We once again avoid back-to-back losses. 20 for Wemby and Stephon Castle. 37 for Kylan Moore. 23 for John Cobb. Is Kylan Moore passing John Cobb for a leading player in terms of the offensive outputs? So far, that seems to be the case. And how about a 51-point shellacking of the Pelicans here? 42 and 16 for Moore. 25 and 11 for Cobb. He's racking up some rebounds here this year, is he not? 22 off the bench for Williams. Dennis shot poorly, but, I mean, dude, nobody else did. What a display from the offense. We shot 55%, only took 82 shots. But we also took 51 free throws as a team. 17 of those belong to Kylan Moore. Absolutely insane. We take down the Trailblazers by a solid 14 points. We fouled out Scoot Henderson later in the fourth quarter. Boeheim drops 21. Cobb drops 33. Moore only 33% from the field, 1 for 9 from behind the arc here in this game, but that will happen on occasion. Can't expect perfection game after game. And despite only shooting 44%, we still come out on top. Once again, the free throw disparity fully on display. 36 for us, 7 for them. But then the Heat hand us a loss. We lose it by only 2 points in a very back-and-forth affair. It was close pretty much the entire way. A lot of players involved here. 17 assists for J.P. Collier, the new point guard over in Miami. 29 for Moore in the loss. He fouled out late. 22 for Dennis and Cobb. 19 for Williams. But a poor shooting day for Marcus Sasser off our bench. And we allowed them to shoot 54% from the field. And we come back with a win against the Washington Wizards, winning it by 10 points on the road. 22 for Williams and Sarr, but 40 for Cobb, his best game of the season to date, doing 9 for 15 from behind the arc. Also racks up 4 steals, 3 of those for Dennis. He also shot the ball and passed it well. Good rebound numbers here for Colin Moore. 6 offensive boards here in this one, with 2 blocks alongside with it. 1 for 9, though, for Dylan Young. We still got the win. We took 55 threes. We've taken a lot more threes this year than any year previous, at least so far. And now we have played 13 games this season, and we are a half game back from the Rockets, who have played 1 less game than we have. We are 3-1 at home, 6-3 on the road, dropping over 126 points per game, passing the ball very well, shooting it very well. Rebounds could be higher, but I'm not going to worry about it a whole lot. And we have our first game against the Rockets coming up next. I'm going to go one more game with this lineup and see if we can beat them. And then we can see maybe that second option lineup with Williams in our starting 5 for the home game against the Rockets. Let's try this out. We just blew these guys out. Very similar to that Cavaliers game. A very strong second half by the Aztecs. 21 for Reed Shepherd. Only 13 for Frank Bauer. 38-8 for John Cobb here in the winning efforts. Colin Moore, 23-16. But I did see that Marcus Sasser got hurt after one of his best games. 12 points off our bench, 5 for 5 from the field. And he is going to miss a couple of weeks. And he was our only true backup point guard. So now I think Dylan Young is going to have to get that role full time until Sasser returns. And that will throw a wrench into our lineup change. I'm going to stick with this one right now, with Young coming in to be the new backup point guard. Then once Sasser comes back, we'll probably try out the third option. But we're also first place in the conference, so maybe stick with it until we lose a couple games in a row. Who knows? That will also give a bigger role off our bench to Braden McCall, so he'll get about 20 or so minutes off our bench. Young gets some more minutes coming off our bench. McCall, by the way, so far to open the year, seems to be playing pretty darn well, if the little icon's not lying to me. Maybe not. He hasn't really shot the ball very well. He's been better than last year, but I think he deserves a bit more time. Our next game against the Rockets is coming down to the wire here at home, as you might expect. 117-116, under 3 minutes left to go. Let's watch the finish. We jump in. Kylan Moore at the line for a free throw. He knocks it down. 2-point lead. Rockets in the bonus. We are not. Let me close this game out and hold on to the Western Conference lead. Shepherd too strong, and Dennis gets the rebounds. Up to Moore. Blown right by Houston for the deuce. Ken Whitmore back on the floor now for Houston. Here's Frank Bauer over Moore. That is great defense, just better offense. How does he do it? It's back to a 2-point game. Cobb with it. Looks to attack the basket. That one's too strong. Bauer pulls down the rebound. Rockets have averaged almost 60 boards a game. That is almost incomprehensible. But now under 2 to play, we are all tied up at 120 apiece. Cobb with it. Looking to isolate. Blows by Whitmore right to the rack. He's got 24 tonight on 64% shooting. Back out. Good pass by Shepard. Jabari Smith had a chance to put the Rockets in front. I forgot to take off the finals logo. I'll do it after this. But it's kind of a finals feel to this game, is it not? Going down to the wire against team rival. There's Kylan Moore on the pick and roll. Bauer drives by Moore with the reverse finish. Nice play right there by him. Game nowhere near over yet. Screen up from Moore. Cobb over the top. Once again, Kylan Moore, the jackhammer flush. Under 50 seconds left to go. Rockets need a couple of buckets and a couple of stops. Bauer, high off the window. Soft touch again. And he can't be stopped either. Cobb blows by Whitmore. Fouled. That's the fourth on him. Probably not going to matter. But a big free throw is for Cobb. Got to knock both down. The front end puts our lead at 3. And the back end is no good. Not again. Just no threes allowed, please. Shepard penetrates. Lost it. But puts his body on the line to grab it and keep it alive. Bauer fouled. That is the 5th on Kylan Moore. Gotta get the rebounds. They're gonna foul us. They're gonna have to. Gotta knock down our free throws after Bowers. He knocks down both. Get this ball to Dennis. Let him take the shots. He is the guy that we go to. And now Bowers got 5. Would love to foul him up before this game is all said and done, but probably not going to be possible. The first free throw is good. And Dennis hits both. They'll use their final timeout to advance the ball. Whitmore to tie. Got it! You can't be serious! How many shots have we seen like that go in? At least we'll have the final say here in this game. Or at least here in regulation. But I don't want to go to overtime against this team. Let's just win it right here. Can we get a season highlight right here? 8 seconds to go. Cobb gets the inbound pass. Looks to attack. And he's fouled with 3 seconds left. Clear as day. Whitmore picks up his 5th. MVP chance for John Cobb. Was been our second best player in the first couple weeks of the season. But the crowd is behind him. Just gotta hit both. And don't allow some half-court heave to go in. And we can walk away with another win against the Rockets in back-to-back games. He hits both this time. Smith to Shepard from 3/4 court, off the back iron, and the Aztecs win again. 2-0 now on the year against the Houston Rockets, and we build on the Western Conference lead. $27 for Cobb and 27 for Moore. Both guys shot very well. Double-double for David Dennis. Still young. 5 assists here in his first full stint as the backup point guard. I mean, that's a pretty good number. As a team, we had 34. That's a very good number. 30 points for both Whitmore and Jackson. 20 for Carlos Morales, I believe that is. Yep, Carlos Morales. He was a first-round pick a couple years ago for them. Bauer, 17 points. It's really kind of not really been great in either game so far against us this year. But first month out of the way here pretty much. We are 11-4, and because we're in first place, we've beaten the Rockets twice. I think we stick with this lineup for now until things start to trend a little bit downhill. And we have 2 weeks of home games now on the horizon. We take a very close game here, holding off an electric fourth quarter comeback from the Blue Crabs. I just kind of simmed through it the entire game, but we take it by a point. 33 now for Kylan Moore, 26 for Dennis Cobb, 22 and 8. Dylan Young only one assist off the bench this time, but 7 for Jalen Williams, 5 for Herb Jones. No complaints from me. And 26 for Leonard Dennis, who has found himself in Baltimore now. I think he's on a 1-year deal after leaving Orlando. 29 for Dusty Beasley. Andrew Lee, only 14 points here in this game. We go on to beat the absolute tar out of the Dallas Mavericks. A 40-point win extends our win streak to 5. John Cobb, 32 points. Didn't really shoot the ball very well, but had 14 free throws, all of which he made. Moore played very well. Dennis shot the ball well. Jalen Williams, 9 assists off our bench. Young supplies 5. McCaw supplies 5. 3 from Jones. We have really spread the ball out pretty well so far. 37 for Dillingham in losing effort. Role players kind of struggling here for Dallas in this matchup as they shoot sub 40%. And we're just steamrolling teams right now. 27 or more from our core trio. Cobb shoots very well. Moore does not, but still gets 15 boards and 5 stocks. David Dennis, 10 for 20 from the field. 26 for Brooks, but another dominant win. This is just incredible. It continues. 41, 16, and 7 now for Kylan Moore. 4 blocks. Cobb, 9 for 10 with 30 points. Williams has passed the ball so well as of late. He's in multiple games with 9 assists or more. Now, on the year, not quite so much, but the last couple of games with Sasser not out there, I mean, look at these passing numbers. 9, 5, 9, 7, 6, 6. A very strong stretch passing-wise for him. And 6 from David Dennis here in this game. 6 from Dylan Young. And we blow the brakes off the Suns by 40 points. And we beat them once again with Braden McCaw having a breakout game. 21 points and 19 minutes of action. 7 for 10 from 3. And his numbers now are looking a lot better shooting-wise. They're going up. We get Sasser back coming off the win, but until we lose, I'm going to stick with it because, I mean, we're just blowing teams out. You don't want to change up or fix what is not broken. We are now 16-4, but the Grizzlies are really on our tail right now. The Kings are looking to end our win streak. It's always something with Kibu Miller. We're going to jump in for the last couple minutes. We trail by 6, 2:33 to go. Can we keep the early win streak alive? I forgot to change our court once again. I promise I'll do it before the next time we jump into a home game. But here we go. Kings have it in the lead. We could use a stop. Here's Green, right to the rack, but missed the lay-in. Miller is going to come in soon as we almost turn the ball over, but McDaniels puts it up and in. Off-ball screens for Green. The triple is off the back iron, no good. Up to Kylan Moore. Now McDaniels, he almost coughs it up. Under 2 minutes left to go. I might call timeout next time we have the ball so that their guys can come in to close it out. Not really sure why our guys are always out there, but theirs aren't. No idea, but they're going to have a chance now as Herb Jones is called for the foul. Free throws for Julian Strother. The front end is up and good. They're going to bring in Miller and Jet Howard. And Strother knocks down both, lead back to 6. Dennis, baseline, left it short, tipped out by Miller, and Patsotsoglu pulls down the rebounds. We are running out of time here. Miller passes out. What a feed. Howard hits the dagger. He's got 26 tonight, 16 here in the fourth quarter. And that is going to put the game out of reach, you would have to imagine. The Kings take this one by 10 points, and that is how much they outscored us by in the fourth quarter. 25 for Dennis leads the way, but Kylan Moore only 3 for 14 here in this game. 0 for 3 for Herb Jones, 0 for 4 for Dylan Young. Jet Howard, 29. 7 3-points made by him. 27 for Kibu Miller. And they only shot 42% and still beat us. They took 9 more shots than we did. They took 58 threes. Holy cow. That means it is time to bring Sasser back into our lineup, coming off that loss. And give some more guys less minutes to kind of catch their breath and hopefully retain some more stamina. But through a fourth of the season, 21 games, here are the numbers for your Aztecs. 3 guys in the 20-plus point numbers. But Kylan Moore has now surpassed John Cobb as our leading scorer, at least so far this season. Over 12 rebounds a game, 2 blocks, 1 steal, 52% from the field, only 32% from downtown, but great at the line, as are pretty much every player on the team except for Dylan Young and Mark Williams. Young at 56% is a big drop down from a year ago. In fact, all of his shooting splits have taken a pretty substantial dive. What is up with that? We'll keep our eyes on that for now. Was not expecting a big drop off from him, but Kava shot very well after kind of a slow start, over 26 points per game, 7 boards, 5 assists, 49%, 40% from downtown. Dennis, a bit worse than last year so far from downtown and from the field and at the line. Maybe a slight decline for him, but I'm not going to be worried about it. He's still overall playing very well. Off our bench, Jalen Williams, 12, 4, and 4, shooting very well. As you would expect, he's been a big part of the offense here so far. Maurice Mullen might be in store for some more playing time if this keeps up for Dylan Young. And as you guys alluded to, Braden McCaw might end up surpassing Dylan Young. He has shot better across the board. The defensive numbers are not exactly the same as Dylan Young's, but in the same ballpark. Now, passing wise, we gotta get him better at that. But overall, he's been good. Herb Jones has shot the ball very well from all 3 levels. So I think right now the guys that have really played well off our bench outside of Williams are Mullen and McCaw. I think they're both really standing out. Marcus Sasser, about 6 points per game. He is shot it okay from downtown, but pretty solid from the field. Great at the line. No complaints from me there. And then we go down to Mark Williams. Kind of has less of a role than last year, but still putting in like 5 and 5 off the bench. Very efficient scoring. And then McDaniels, just like 2s across the board pretty much. He shot well from the fields. 38% from downtown is more than we can ask for, I think, out of him. Way better than his last season. And he's been okay at the line. So I think that's kind of worked out for us so far. So yeah, I mean, I think I want to stick with this lineup still even more. Because again, we're first place in the conference. I don't want to mess up any team chemistry. But once we get beyond the All-Star break, expect some lineup trimming. And whoever's playing the worst out of our 6-man bench will have to probably find themselves in the reserves in case somebody goes down. But now we're actually, I guess, a game back from the Grizzlies, who are 16-3. But we're still playing very well. 8-2 on the last 10. Let's keep the train moving. We take down the Pelicans once again. Nobody really standing out here in this close game. 32 for Cobb on good shooting. Same goes for Kylan Moore with 5 blocks as well. Cobb had 5 stocks. Dennis 1 for 7 from downtown. McCall 3 for 6 overall. And then Dylan Young 2 for 6. Mullen 0 for 3. Our win margin this year might end up being incredible, man. We just beat the Blazers. I mean, this is just like just a straight beatdown. 153-95, 37 for Moore, 30 for John Cobb, 21 for Sasser off our bench, 8 for 8 from the field in 10 minutes. Absolutely incredible. Dennis a double-double. Williams again, 9 dimes. Young shot better here in this game. We also blow out the San Antonio Spurs. 20 plus for Cobb, Moore, and Jalen Williams. But Cobb shot poorly. Hit his threes pretty well, but otherwise was not shooting very hot. Mullen 12, McCaw 10, Dennis 8 dimes, only 9 points here in this one. But nobody had more than 15 for the Spurs. Harrison Sally, Public Enemy number 1 for us, 15-7. Both teams kind of shot poorly, but we just took a boatload more free throws once again. Just another 50-plus point win behind 36 for Cobb, 24-15 for Moore, double figures for Dennis, Sasser, and Mullen. We played some good defense here in this game against, once again, just like a terrible Lakers team. They're currently 5-19. We are 20-5, one of our best starts in franchise history. Now we're 2 games up on the Grizzlies. Our 5th straight win comes against the Hornets, 132-104, 24 here for Salaun, 23 for Anthony, but 41 for Cobb, his highest total this year, alongside 31-13 for Moore. He had 3 blocks, Cobb had 3 steals, 9 more assists for Jalen Williams. He's been a huge help passing-wise. That has only continued throughout this first half of the season. And this offense is just completely rolling over teams. 35 now for Cobb. 3 blocks for him and Kylan Moore. Good day off the bench for Jalen Williams and Marcus Sasser. Luka 20 points in the losing effort. Former Aztec Adam Bona, I guess, started this game and puts up 16 points. But we shot nearly 60% from downtown. A lot of road games coming up here these next couple of weeks. This next month is going to be a lot of road trips. But our win streak stands at 6. Let's keep it going here on the road. And we do keep it going. 27 for Dillingham on 23 shot attempts. That's not going to cut it against us any longer. 36 for Cobb. Double-double for Kylan Moore. 16 for McCaw off our bench, going 4 for 6 from both the field, downtown, and at the line. 14 for Dennis. A lot of players got involved. Everybody scored. Got some action here in this game. But then, surprisingly, the OKC Thunder end our win streak at, 7 games in a row? 29 for Freddie Anthony, 20 and 10 for Shea, double-doubles for Holmgren, and Jarris Walker, 6 for 10 here in this game, 15 points. Dennis, 25. Cobb, 20. Good day off the bench for Dylan Young, scoring-wise, but Moore shot poorly, and so did McCall. And now our first losing streak of the season. 26 for Luka, 18 for Peyton. Adam Bona, 15 and 13. 6 steals for Caldwell. 33 and 10 for Moore. 0 for 4 from downtown, though. Cobb played well, but did not really have a high volume of shots. And our bench shot really poorly. They all went like a 1 for 4, 1 for 5. They only shot 40% as a team. Make it 3 straight as Kibu Miller drops a triple-double with 17 assists. And we completely blew a pretty commanding halftime lead. We were up by 16 points. We blew it in the third quarter. and the Kings never looked back. Wow. They have now done that twice against us in our only 2 matchups this year, I think. 30 for Dennis, 23 and 15 for Moore. Cobb has, I guess his overall numbers look pretty good shooting-wise, but he's had a couple of games where he has not shot the ball very well. But his numbers scoring-wise have gone up over our last stretch of ball games. But now I've lost 3 straight. Is it time to make a change and move to that second lineup option? Well, we're kind of forced to, because Herb Jones actually broke his right ankle in that game. So once again, having some problems, having him stay healthy, we're going to be forced to move to that second lineup now. And now we're going to have probably Mullen get a lot of time as the backup 2-guard. This will give Dylan Young, McCaw, and Mullen bigger roles off our bench and will extend playing time for McDaniels and Williams at power forward now. So here we go. Lineup number 2, but without Herb Jones. For probably quite a while. Let's see if this can kind of stop the losing streak and hopefully continue our good run of form from before that streak began. In our first game with Williams in our starting 5, we lose against Cade Cunningham, Wendell Brown, and the Pistons. We're now 22 and 11. And it was another bad third quarter performance. It was tied at halftime. No, we had a 3-point halftime lead and then blew it again. 26 and 14 for Moore, 22 for Cobb, but not really shoot the ball all that well. And our threes were really not falling here in this game. We only shot 24% from downtown. That is not going to get it done at all. But we do get back in the win column in our next game against the lowly Toronto Raptors. Big days for Cobb with 15 rebounds. How does he do it? Kylan Moore, 3 assists shy of a triple-double. Dennis played very well, passed it well. Young plays well off our bench. McCall goes 1 for 8. Williams 1 for 7. And was just bad across the board, it seems. But a bad team in Toronto. Kind of a free win to kind of get our things back in order here. Make it back-to-back blowouts against the Raptors. 34 Şengün here in this one. Cobb shot the ball pretty well. Good scoring across the board for most of our team in this one. And just another good win. Back-to-back dubs. Now our next game against the Rockets, this one might also be coming down to it. We're trying to pull away. Lead by 10. Rockets are trying to close in. 33 seconds left. We're holding on, but it's not over yet. We are back at home. Starters out there for both teams. We lead it by 3. Gonna hold off a comeback. That shot's blocked. The dunk is blocked by Kylan Moore. And now the Rockets are forced to foul. We got MVP chance for Jalen Williams now. I'm not sure that's accurate. I mean, he's got like 12 points per game or something like that, but cool. Glad our crowd and our fans is supporting our new acquisition. 5-point lead, no shot clock left. Rockets could use a miracle. Bowers triple. Won't go. McDaniels the box out and rebound. And now he will have the game-clinching free throws. The front end is going to find its way through. And McDaniels up and in. 7-point lead. 14 seconds left now for Houston. They have no timeouts left. Gotta go fast. Here's Tari Easton knocking it down. 4-point game. They're going to foul us one more time. It's going to be John Cobb at the line. He gets some louder MVP chance. How about Kylan Moore, though? First one's good from Cobb. And he goes 2 for 2. And that should just about do it here. That block was the game-winning play pretty much as we take it 117 to 111. And now we have advantage over the Rockets on the tiebreaker because we have taken them down 3 times out of 3 games. So, that's awesome. We drop a point shy of 50 in the 4th quarter to come back and win. 30 for John Cobb, 27 and 10 for Williams. That's why he got those chances, because he was having an awesome game. Probably his best of the year for us, honestly. Great day off the bench for Sasser. Kylan Moore only 12 and 12. But still, I mean, getting double-doubles despite playing poorly is impressive on its own. 24 and 10 for Deion Houston, but nobody else was in the 20-point figures for Houston. They only shot 42%. Next game, we take down Utah pretty handily. 26 and 6 for Keontae George here in this one. But core trio once again comes through for us. 26 or more for Moore, Dennis, and Cobb. Williams played very well. Stuff in the stat sheet, putting up some Jarris Walker type of numbers right there. 12 for Mullen, 10 for McCaw. McCaw now still around 40%, but his 3-point numbers have taken a massive leap. And that is good enough to stay in our rotation for quite some time now. Mullen has shot very well. That continues. So, good for those guys. How about Dylan Young, where he's at? His numbers are improving, but still an uphill climb. And then 51 second quarter points and 83 in the first half in total are enough to get us over the hump here against a very strong Philly team that is now, I want to say, 8 games over 500 or thereabouts. They're a pretty solid playoff team over in the Eastern Conference. But Cobb leads the way, dropping 27. Moore 23 with 5 other players in double figures. No complaints from me. Make it 6 straight wins, and now we are 2-0 against Brooklyn here in the regular season. 44 for Cobb. That's his 3rd or 4th 40-plus point game this season. 22 and 10 for Kylan Moore. 9 assists for Jalen Williams. 24 for Abdul Kareem. Only 11, though, for Zach Webb. Almost had a triple-double. Was 1 assist shy. And I like seeing all these green W's here. But then Dallas ends our winning streak and what could be our worst loss so far this year. We lose by 29 thanks to a strong 4th quarter by the Mavericks. 42 points, holding us to 18. We had a pretty poor first quarter as well. That definitely did not help us out. 36 for Dillingham, 26 for Fox, and Cobb at 22, but nobody else really shot the ball at a very high level. And we were just bad from 3. I think half our losses have been just bad 3-point shots. So, there you go. Make it 2 straight losses, once again playing a bad 4th quarter and losing as a result. 20 plus for our core trio, but none of them shot the ball very well. Williams shot poorly, and if 4 of your starters cannot shoot the ball well, you're not going to win the basketball game. Nobody was even that great for the Clippers. They just, I guess, played good defense. 35% from the field for us. We took 22 more shots and still lost the game. That is incredible. Good job, guys. And now we suffer our second 3-game losing streak of the year, and once again, a bad 4th quarter leads to a loss. They outscore us by 10, we lose by 5. That's now back-to-back 4th quarter leads blown. Franz Wagner, 26 on 9 shots. 29, 10 and 10 for Cobb. Moore played well. Dennis played pretty well too, but we still lost the game. Nobody else in double figures for the Aztecs. And now we are 41 games through, and we have now dropped a game behind the Memphis Grizzlies for first place here in the conference. Rockets now a half game behind us. It's a 3-horse race right now for the 1 seed. And we have played well at home. We've been okay on the road, but not great. And the offense has definitely taken a step back with Herb Jones not in there. And I think our defense has too. 3 straight losses. I think one more, and you might think about, well, I guess we can't even go back to option 1 or option 3 until we get him back. So we're kind of stuck where we're at, waiting for the injury to subside. But here are the numbers. A little quick update for you guys here, halfway through our season. Moore definitely has now taken a step back offensively after a very hot start. Cobb has once again jumped him for the offensive outputs. But both guys are shooting very well. Moore still at 32%. I wish that would go up, but perhaps not. Dylan Young, 30% from downtown, 44% from the field. McCaw's numbers have dropped from the field down to 38%, but he's still shooting his threes fairly well. But, man, listen, Herb Jones sucks. And he had not missed a free throw on the season, but he is going to come back very soon. He's now day-to-day, so we'll be back anytime soon, and I think we're going to go back to our initial rotation to kind of reset ourselves, get it back out there in a starting role, and figure it out. But if we go look at the advanced metrics real quick and check efficiencies, more than Cobb, then Williams, then Mullen. Overall efficiency, more than Cobb, then Dennis. Game score, Cobb, then Moore. If you look at the wins added, I mean, Moore and Cobb are neck and neck. Moore has the edge, but they are very, very close. Then Dennis at 4.3, so a pretty steep drop-off. Anybody negative? Negative 2.5 for McDaniels. And negative 0.6 for Herb Jones. Do I believe that? I really don't. I mean, we were better with Herb Jones in there. McDaniels, it's hard to know about him, honestly. Yeah, shot the ball efficiently from the field, but again has regressed back to what he was doing last year from downtown. But, I mean, does the plus minus outweigh the EWA? I'm not sure which metric actually is better to decide with in terms of their impact. But I feel like we were a great team when, you know, we were fully healthy with him and Jones out there, so I'm not going to remove him from our lineup anytime soon. Now, we do get Herb Jones back right on the cusp of game 42, which would be the sort of the second half of the season. So we're going to bring Jones back. We're going to go back to that first lineup to open the season, and we'll go from there. We blow out Minnesota in his first game back, 143 to 114. Jones, no points, but he was out there, and I think his impact was already felt. 33 for Dennis, by the way, in this win. Shot the ball very, very well. Moore played well. Capo, I mean, Capo's had so many games racking up the rebounds. That's impressive. Dylan Young, 14 points. Sasser shot the ball well. Williams, 2. McDaniels, 3 for 3. 8 assists. That's going to be taking his wins added up. We shot the ball well at all 3 levels. We just beat the Hornets in pretty embarrassing fashion, but we do lose Mark Williams to a sprained left knee. And that will bring in Marvin Bagley until he returns, which should be before next game most likely, but just in case, we'll just do a little roll swap here and put Bagley out there for now. But it was a dominant 50-point win over Charlotte, 33-14 for Kylan Moore. He did foul out, but after an awesome game, Dennis was good. McCaw, 20 points, 5 for 6 from the field. Another nice day for him. Cobb only took 10 shots, but shot at a high clip. 17 for Williams off our bench. Good day for Sasser. We have so many weapons that can go off for a good day. That's how you know that you're a really special offensive team. 24 for Ojale, but we shoot 51%. They shoot sub 40. And we do get Williams back before our next game, so he's going to be okay. We get one back on Dallas behind 34-15 for Kylan Moore. He also puts up 6 total stocks. Dennis shot and passed it well. Cobb shot the ball pretty well. Herb Jones, 13 points. Young goes 1 for 7, 0 for 5 from downtown, but a monster third quarter propels us to a pretty big win. Make it 4 straight blowouts since Herb Jones returned to our rotation. 35 for Wahlgren here. 47 for Cobb. It seems like every time that he has more than 40, he is breaking his own yearly record. 25 and 10 for Dennis. Double-double for Kylan Moore. Yeah, we are a really tough team to beat. Now it's Kylan Moore dropping 47 on the Pacers. Cobb at 47 against them last game. Now he gets his turn. Cobb still puts up a pretty awesome day too, with 4 blocks as well. On both ends, he was an absolute menace. 8 dimes for Dennis, 20 plus for Mann and Matherin, but the Pacers no match to slow down our offense. We only took 72 shots, 58 free throws. We are breaking the league. Another blowout win. We really contained the Spurs offense here in this one. Cobb played very well. Those rebound numbers are still just staggering to me, but passed it very well here in this game. It seems like everyone except for Herb Jones picked up at least 1 assist. We shoot 56%, Spurs 20% from downtown. And we have won all 6 games since Jones came back. We are approaching our deadline. No trades required. We are also nearing the All-Star break, which is going to be in Mexico City, but we have not enough time to go through that. So we'll check on the awards here in a moment and see what the outlook is looking like. We got about 7 or so more games until the All-Star break, though, so let's keep it going. Well, we couldn't. It seems like our losses are really about the fourth quarter. Outscored by 21 in the fourth. We lose by 19 points, and Dan George drops a triple-double and we're out to the comeback win. Despite 43 for Cobb, it was not enough to carry the load. Kylan Moore had his worst game of the year, 1 for 12. That's not going to happen often. Our bench also did not shoot very well. 1 for 4 for Williams, 1 for 5 for McDaniels, 2 for 6 for Mullen. Herb Jones also kind of a quiet day offensively. In terms of the awards so far, Kylan Moore has won at least 2 Player of the Weeks. Yeah, 2 for us so far. They both belong to him. He has not won Player of the Month. But the guys that we know have Deion York, Frank Bauer, Miller, all have won at least 1 so far. What about the award races? Frank Bauer in first place again for MVP, but just like a year ago, look who was trailing him. Both Kylan Moore and John Cobb. Can either of our 2 stars outrace Bauer for the MVP? It's going to be tough because his numbers are really, really good on both offense and defense. So I'm not sure it's possible. But Miller, John Morant, both playing very well too. They have a shot as well. Rookie of the Year right now belongs to Mingyu Zhang, as you might predict. Deion Houston, as always, in line for 6th Man of the Year. Asar Thompson right now, number 1 for Depoy, but Wemby is probably going to get more blocks, I would think. I mean, those block numbers are kind of low for him. Kylan Moore in the top 5 right now. Most improved player, Matt Hayes over in Miami. Clutch Player of the Year right now is Darius Williams, having a big year over with the Wizards. A big step up from a year ago, at least scoring-wise. He has shot the ball incredibly well. We get back in the win column, taking down Philadelphia with our core trio once again, putting our pieces together for the win. 13 off the bench for Williams. 27 for Jabari Walker. Thought that was Jarris after another trade for a second, but he's still over there in OKC. How did we just lose to the Lakers? They're like historically bad, man, and we just got demolished by them. 23 and 10 for Will McBride. 22 for Dennis, but Cobb shot poorly. Kylan Moore, 4 for 11. Nobody had a good day, really, for us. We only shot 38%, 18% from downtown. Yeah, we're going to forget about this loss. So we are at the deadline now, and we are tied with Memphis for first place, but I guess they have the tiebreaker as of right now. Both teams 36-14. Rockets 2 games back from us. We played well in our last 10 games, coming off a bad loss. I think we just roll with this and tweak it if it's going to come down to the last couple of games. Let's get ourselves through the All-Star break, and we'll go from there. What is it with these fourth quarters, man? 45-20 now against the Hawks, so we led for the entire game until then. What is going on? 32 for Adams, 26 for Johnson, 30 for Dennis on 23 shots. Nobody shot amazingly well, and we had a lot of guys only hit one of multiple attempts. Yeah, sub 40% as a team. That's not going to win a game against a playoff contender like Atlanta. But we do get a near triple-double out of Cobb en route to a win. 20 points for Moore, although on 19 shots. Dennis played well. Young got off our bench. Sasser perfect. And we get back in line, shooting 55%. That's more like it. Now, a very strong second half earns us a victory over the now 30-21 Golden State Warriors. Dennis leads the way. 5 blocks and 28 points for Kylan Moore. 14 off our bench for McCaw. Still about 39% from the field, but I think he's earned continuous playing time out there. Maurice Mullen still shooting very well. Jalen Williams still shooting very well. Herb Jones, down to 38%. That's a pretty steep drop off from last year, but still very good numbers. Sasser has been really good shooting wise, at least. Dylan Young still has work to do. I think right now, if we were in the playoffs right now, I think Dylan Young gets cut from the rotation. Simply put, McDaniels has had quite the streak as of late. In our last game, pre-All-Star break, we take down Milwaukee pretty handily. 29 for Moore, 25 for Cobb. 4 blocks, by the way, for the blueprint. 15 for Williams. 9 dimes from David Dennis. Trio of steals for both Jones and McCaw. We shut the ball pretty well once again. Now we enter the All-Star break. Oh, nope. Stop that. Almost in the whole season. My bad. We get right up to it, and we are back in first place, 39-15. Grizzlies, half a game back from us, and they've played one more game than we have. But we have been amazing at home, 21-3. Yeah. And we watched one of those L's against the Kings, so that's cool. I might jump in for the All-Star game if it's close by the end of it, but it's usually not. Rising Stars Challenge, what happens here? Kind of a close game here. Bujanic puts up 27. He's a rookie with the Knicks as well. He was their 8th overall pick. Well, Zhang puts up 21. So, very promising rookie duo for the Knicks, as the sophomores won this game behind 16 points from Kylan Johnson. We've got nobody in the three-point shootout this season, so we'll skip over that. In the dunk contest, we've got nobody either, so we'll just sim through those. Elijah Banks wins the three-point shootout, and Xavier Green wins the slam dunk contest for the Kings. And these are your all-star starters. This year in Mexico City, John Cobb is a starter, but Kylan Moore is not. How is Wemby over Moore? Maybe it's just got to be like a popularity contest because he's top 3 in MVP voting. He should be starting. This happens all too often. Although Miller has leapfrogged everybody for first place, Bauer got a little bit hurt. Moore still in third. Cobb down to fifth. Okay, so how is Wemby then a starter? Let's just check the voting real quick. I just got to make sure this all checks out. We look at the front court. Wemby just had a lot of votes, man. He's too popular. Deion York. I mean, 28 and 12. Impressive numbers for him. I mean, Bauer was going to start over Kyle Moore, so just a lot of bigs here. A lot of big men that are going to take those spots from Kyle Moore until he hopefully eventually ends up surpassing them. It's actually kind of a close game here. Eastern Conference up by 7, 2:04 left to go. Let's jump in and see if the West can pull off a miracle here. We jump in here in Mexico City with John Cobb out there alongside Wemby, York, Morant, and Miller. Cobb's three, no good. Could have been a big shot in front of a home crowd. And now the East looks to put the finishing touches on what could be an all-star victory. They got Giannis, Webb, Cade, Mobley, and Highland Johnson out there. No, that's actually Darius Williams, excuse me. But Webb over Cobb. Can't knock it down. Miller, the rebounds. Cobb with it now. Size it up, Darius Williams. Now draws him out. Looks to drive it. Back out. Good pass. Wide open three. Miller, of course, hits it. And now Mobley on the pick and roll. Gets all the way inside. He's got 18 points. Has missed like 1 or 2 shots maybe. Just over a minute left to go. 6-point lead for the Eastern Conference. Miller again. No good this time. Williams the rebound. And one bucket could put this game out of reach. Back out. Williams open triple. Can't knock it down. Wemby the rebounds. Here's John Cobb. Looking to penetrate. The step back jumper's too strong. The West just cannot buy a basket. And they are going to run out of time here as Giannis is hacked. They've called 5 fouls on Miller. 9 fouls here in the fourth quarter. Good God. The free throw, though, is no good. The door is still a little bit open. Giannis goes 0 for 2. The West still has a chance. They got to go fast, though. Miller thought twice about it. Got to go quick. He tries again. 2 for 3 on his last 3 attempts. We could still pull it off here with a couple of lucky free throw misses. They're going to put Williams now at the charity line. The front end is good. The West will have to hit their threes now every time. Time winding down. Cobb wants the shot. Can't get it to go. And they're going to call one last foul. And these free throws will put the game out of reach, it seems. Williams having himself a day. 24 points now. And he will ice the game. 8 seconds left. No time for the Western Conference. And the East are going to come out on top. 115. Or perhaps a bit more. Why are we fouling with 0.3 left? York, come on, man. Get me out of here. Free throw from Giannis. Got that one to go. Back end is up. And also good. A final score of 117 to 108. A 9-point win for the East. The All-Star MVP is Darius Williams. Congrats, man. And for the All-Star Aztecs, Cobb, 9 points, 3 for 7. Highland Moore, 6 points, 3 for 5. Not anything special at all. And before I forget, post All-Star break, what were all the trades made this season? Pascal Siakam heads to the Pistons in exchange for former Aztec Robert Williams and Ryan Hall. Naz Reid was traded from the Cavaliers, who we faced on opening night back to Washington for Patrick Baldwin Jr. plus a second-round pick. Boris Bowen plus DeAndre Hunter from the Nets to the Jazz for a first-round, lottery-protected first-round pick in a couple of years and a shooting guard. And then the Clippers and Lakers, little LA swap here between Jayshawn Davis and Kennedy Nash. Miles McBride and JJJ traded to Cleveland for Donovan Mitchell and Jarrett Allen. Whoa, the Cavaliers made some massive trades. Whoa, that is the biggest trade in quite some time in this series as far as CPU trades go. And then Davion Mitchell traded to the Rockets for Terrell Johnston. We'll see if he ends up getting some big playing time in Houston. Noah Clowney for Bryce Sensabaugh. Kobe Buffkin traded to the Warriors. The Rockets also acquired, or really reacquired, Tari Eason in exchange for Nikola Jovic. And aside from those were the big trades. Tari Eason got traded twice this year, so that's interesting. But those are the big trades. Vassell was traded from the Kings to the 76ers for a couple of bigs. And in our first game post All-Star break, we give up 41 and 10 to Chet Holmgren, and the Thunder use a massive second half to outscore us by 19 points in that half, and they come back and beat us after we held a halftime lead. 30, 10, and 6 for Cobb, only 15 for Dennis and Kylan Moore. Sasser was good off our bench. Williams was okay, but Herb Jones, Young, Mullen all shot poorly, and we only shot 44%. But they took like 9 more free throws. They had more fast break points, and they also forced a lot of turnovers off us. We bounced back by handing Chicago their 21st loss on the year. They're going to be a playoff team, no doubt, over in the East. We got some pretty balanced scoring from Dennis and Cobb, who did not shoot very well in this game, but still put the 21 points. Moore with back-to-back 5 for 15 games. Mullen bounces back. So do Herb Jones and Dylan Young. I think we are approaching the point where we probably want to think about trimming down our rotation to 10 players, as we are about, what is that, like a month and a half or a month and 3 weeks or so from the end of our season. And if that's the case, you probably want to start to give your best bench players a little bit more playing time. We'll wait until probably early March, mid-March to make that decision. So we'll give a few more weeks for players to kind of come into their own. But I think I'm eyeing our second showcase going to be one of these 3 against the Grizzlies, because of course it's between us and them right now for first place here in the conference. The Rockets are kind of hanging around still, but we have the same record as Memphis, and we gotta face these guys 3 straight times in the middle of March. So these are going to be some pretty pivotal games, because we lost the only game against them earlier this year. They beat us by 21 points. So all 3 of these games are going to matter quite a lot. And I think we'll probably watch this one on March 14th, because we got to get a home game in here before this year is all said and done. In the meantime, we have a huge second half performance, and David Dennis puts up a season high 34 points, also supplies 11 assists. Big day for Kylan Moore as well on both ends. John Cobb bounces back in a big way with 25, 8, and 6. And our 3 cornerstones lead the way all the way to a 29-point win over the Wizards, who were supposed to be a contender this year, but they are now only at 500, about 60 games through the season. The top teams right now in the Eastern Conference are the Magic, the Pistons, the Bulls, and the Heat as your top 4, with the Magic, Pistons, and Bulls being the 3 teams really right now vying for that first overall seed. In an absolute barn burner, the Aztecs put up what I believe to be our highest point total in regulation this year with 162 points. We allowed a lot as well, but we still put up one of the highest totals you'll see in a regular season game. 36 for Cobb and Kylan Moore. They both play lights out and shoot the ball very well from behind the arc. Dennis as well. All three guys with back-to-back really special performances. And our bench pretty much shot well across the board. 57, though, for Dion York. And he's kind of showing you why he has kind of leapfrogged a lot of players to be one of the highest all-star vote getters. Little update here on the award races. And Kylan Moore is now in first place for the MVP award. But it's been going back and forth between those top three, with Bauer first, then Miller, and now Moore at the very top. We drop a game against the Warriors as they use a solid fourth quarter to come back and beat us. 23 for Colin Sexton, double figures for 4 other players. Kylan Moore, 22 and 11 for Stocks. 3 steals for Kyle, but he and Dennis were out in check here in this game. And Dennis fouled out after only 17 minutes of action. So that had a pretty big impact on this loss. So Sasser got some more playing time, puts up 19 points on 16 shots. And John Cobb does have a bruised left hip. It's going to be a short-term injury for probably like a week or two. Just check on him. He's actually already close to pretty much recovering. He's not even losing any attributes, it seems, so he should be able to just play through this. He's losing some attributes, but not anything that's going to be like game-changing, really. So he'll have to stay on there as a starter because we're still trying to fight for first place here in the conference. Only a half game up on the Grizzlies, who have played one more game than we have. Ooh, and now we have reached the extension deadline. So we are going to stop for a second, take a look. We are like $70 million over the cap, so we can't really afford to make any extensions at this stage, but I'm just curious who is eligible. I mean, Cobb is this year, but he's also available next year, so we can wait on that until next season. Mark Williams, eligible for a new contract. So is Herb Jones and McDaniels. But I think I want to wait on all of those. We can bring back Jones next year if you want to, if we don't see much progression. And of course, for Cobb, he's going to get that new deal, but probably just has to wait one more year because he's probably going to ask for more than he currently is making. So we can wait on that. The Aztecs go on to storm into New Orleans and take down the Pelicans by a pretty large margin. 23 for Ingram here in this Pelicans loss, but despite the injury, Cobb puts up 32 and 11. Kylan Moore, 22 and 15. Dennis, Williams, Sasser, all double figures, with Williams putting up some nice numbers across the board. And by the way, here are the current league leaders this season in terms of points per game. I might up the slider to close the year for the star players getting a little bit more touches, because it seems like as we have gone on, the leading scorer has gone down from like 32-ish points per game to like 28, where it was last year. So I might want to increase that moving forward, because it should be around there regardless of the amount of talent in the league. But right now, York is the leader, followed by Williams, and then John Cobb at 3, and Kylan Moore at number 7. Rebound leader is York as well, so I'm kind of shocked that he's not even in the running for MVP right now, considering his numbers are fantastic, but Moore is number 2. Assists per game, Miller number 1, and Dennis is all the way at 15 this season at less than 7 a game. Steal leader is currently SGA, and the block leader is Alex Sarr. For other team extensions, though, it looks like the Hornets re-signed Salaun to a pretty massive 4-year deal. The Bulls re-signed Josh Giddey to a 4-year deal. Kobe White also gets re-signed. Kuminga staying with Golden State. Giannis still in Milwaukee. Jokic still with Denver, by the way. Edey and Stewart both re-signed with Memphis, so they keep their starter and backup bigs around. Aiden Ivey gets a new extension. Scoot Henderson stays over in Portland. Pacers re-signed Mathurin. And those are your biggest deals. Cam Thomas still over in Brooklyn. Alex Sarr got that extension as well. and then you kind of go back to the start of the season. So those are the biggest ones this year. We have a comeback underway here on March 3rd at home against the Hawks, who have led the entire game until just now. Under 3 to go, let's watch the rest. Atlanta has the rock, and they take the lead off that's Ronald Adams, I think it is. Maybe it's Donald. Either way, he puts the Hawks back in the lead. 106-105. Starters all out there. Herb Jones at the rim, throws it up and in. Now we are back in front. Okongwu lost it. Jarred loose by Moore and scooped up by Cobb. Here's McDaniels on the other end, finding David Dennis. Hawks right now last in the NBA in turnovers per game. That's definitely not a set you want to have for a plus 500 team. And despite the bruised hip, Cobb has 28 now here in this one, shooting 50% from the field. And the Aztecs build on their lead. Now it's 3. But Herb Jones is called for his second foul, the team's 4th. And it's free throws for Adams, the first of which is online. And the back end will close it back to 1. Isolation here for Cobb, blowing by his man right to the rack for the deuce. Make it 30 points here, and back-to-back dunks for John Cobb. Risacher takes the screen, steps into a 3, but can't tie the game at 111. Just over a minute left to go. Cobb to double it! 7 straight points for John Cobb. Adams looking to drive. Jones stays in front, but cannot thwart the basket. Couple of nice points here down the stretch for Adams. Going to keep his team in arm's reach. And now a personal foul against Risacher, only the second on Atlanta here in the quarter. Dennis finds Herb Jones wide open, but he can't knock down what would have been the dagger. The door is still open. Hawks got to go fast. Get a little 2-for-1 chance here. That shot's denied by McDaniels. Adams trying to force it. And now Cobb is fouled. MVP chance for number 8. The reincarnation of Kobe Bryant, some are saying. The new age Kobe. And Cobb knocks down the pair, and he has scored our last 9 points. The game is not set in stone, though. Hawks could still put together a miracle here at the end of things. Adams with it, trying to play hero ball, it looks like. Not a single pass so far in this possession. Now he finds Risacher. His triple cuts our lead in half. Got to knock down the free throws now. Herb Jones at the line. Aztecs now in the bonus. 10.1 left on the clock. The front end is no good. At least go 1 for 2, Herb. The back end is up, and that one's going to drop in. Herb Jones not one to usually miss at the line, but at least got 1 to go. Inbound to Risacher, and no good, but Murray pulls down the offensive board, and Okongwu splashes it from way downtown. He can shoot those. 3.8 left, now 3.4. Dennis fouled at the line. Gotta hit both. Hawks have no timeouts. They cannot advance the ball. It'll have to be like a half-court, three-quarters court heave. And it's gonna be a 3-point ball game. Inbound to Suggs from way beyond half court, way off the mark. The Aztecs storm back and hold on to win. An impressive showing for John Cobb, and a really strong fourth quarter by him propels us to the victory. 23 for Risacher as the top Hawks scorer. They shot 42%. Pretty even across the board in terms of shooting and free throws and whatnot. We just come out on top in a very neck-and-neck game Their bench outperformed ours, but only 17 assists on 36 field goals. That's a pretty low amount, plus a lot of turnovers for both teams, really, but more for them than for us. And this means that now we have built upon our conference lead as Memphis has dropped a couple games straight. And we are amazing at home, still 25-3. Absolutely incredible. All right, and because the scoring, or at least the top scores, have kind of dropped below 30 points a game, I am going to increase the shot distribution just a little bit so that the top-rated players get a little bit more shots to kind of even that out a little bit. We'll up it probably up to like maybe 78, so up by 7 compared to the set that we've been using for the last couple of seasons, and that should be enough to kind of get things back on track for the rest of this year and hopefully next year as well. And next we get a very impressive win against a very good Portland team led by Kylan Moore, dropping 30 points and 15 rebounds, 24 for Dennis, 23 for Cobb. And how about McCaw off our bench, 13 points in only 12 minutes. Herb Jones, perfect from the fields. Edward Boeheim, 29. But Scoot Henderson, 6 for 15. Aiden, 3 for 10. So 2 of their stars failed to show up. Moses Moody, only 1 for 9. 0 for 6 from downtown, plus 6 turnovers. Rough day for everybody but Boeheim, it seems. And we come out on top, and we continue to kind of stake our claim here in first place. And we get John Cobb back to full health a week before our final game against Memphis. But now we also have to play the Orlando Magic in the NBA Cup Finals. And as we saw last time he looked, the Magic, I believe, are still in first place over in the East. And that does hold true. But Detroit's still hot on their tail. Bulls only 2 games back, but we'll probably jump in to watch the fourth quarter or second half of that game because I want to see us against what could be a finals preview. That's our first time in this game since we won it a couple years ago. And now facing Detroit, we lead by 4, 2:12 to go. Trying to hold on and hold their comeback off at home again. They inbound it to Ivy, who cuts our lead in half immediately off the assist from Siakam. Ivy only shooting sub 20% here in the game. And yet it is neck and neck here. Very low scoring compared to what we're used to at this stage in our franchise. But now under 2 minutes left to go. Cobb with it against Amen Thompson, or maybe it's Asar Thompson. Can't tell right now. It's probably Asar, and that's going to be a foul. In fact, I forget which Thompson played for the Rockets all those years and played for the Pistons. I forget which one is which, honestly. We'll just find out at the end of our game. But 9 steals, 8 blocks for the Aztecs here in this one, and we're still in front. Cade Cunningham spins. Dennis stays with them and turns it over. Cobb gives us steal number 10. On the other end, McDaniels denied out of bounds by... who is that? I forget what his first name is, but it's Williams. It's Patrick Williams. That's who it is. Cobb with it. Gets Thompson once more. Throws it up and a little bit off targets. Pistons still have a chance, but they give it right back. McDaniels cuts off the pass. Cobb on the fast break with the emphasis. Cunningham driving on Dennis, and now fouled at the rim by Kylan Moore. That's our 8th foul here in the 4th. But Cade held to only 11 points off that free throw and now 9 assists. I mean, he has been really quiet offensively, or at least scoring-wise. The free throws will once again close our lead to 4. Screen coming up from Kylan Moore. Dennis finds him on the pick and roll. That was way too easy. We are a top 3 passing team this year at 31 assists per game. We've got 25 here in this low-scoring affair. Cunningham with it, trying to find some breathing room, but Dennis doing a good job staying in front. And he blocks the shot! David Dennis! Defensive heroics, and now Cunningham forced to foul out. What a sequence for the Aztecs. Dennis the assist, then the block. And now the free throws to put this game out of reach. He goes 1 for 2. 24 seconds left, 3-second differential here. Ivy throws it up and out. Rebound to Colin Moore, and this game should all be wrapped up. We once again closed out a close game here at home. Still only 3 home L's all year long, about a month away from the playoffs. Our franchise cornerstones once again put the pieces together here. Nobody else in double figures, but in low-scoring games, your stars got to come out on top and win those games for you. Nobody scores more than 17 for Detroit, and we outshoot them in almost every area. So still, not a good shooting day for us behind the arc, but we played some good defense down that stretch. Forced 17 turnovers, picked up 11 steals, 9 blocks. Impressive stuff. And now we have the week against Memphis. The week of the Grizzlies. They currently have the tiebreaker over us, 0-1. But they are 3 full games back now with a month left on the schedule. These games are going to have a huge impact on our number 1 seed chances. In the first of these games against the Memphis Grizzlies, they're holding on to a 4th quarter lead, and time is going to run out for the Aztecs here. We're going to lose by 12. And now, if we don't win the last 2 games, they will have the tiebreaker over us, and they will have fought all the way back to the same record as us if they win these next 2 games. So we lose this one, 106-118. Seems to be pretty solid defense by the Grizzlies here, but a strong first quarter, a solid 4th quarter. Only 24 for Kylan Moore here in this game. He was our leading scorer. Dennis 3 for 13. Cobb and him both fouled out. Williams picked up 5 fouls, so clearly they drew a lot of contact in this game. And they got 35 for John Morant. He took 19 free throws and 15 shots. Elijah Banks, former first overall pick, 22 here in the Memphis victory. And we only shot 43% from the field, 33 from downtown. And they took a lot more free throws than we did. And all of that combines to a pretty disappointing loss here. That was just our 4th loss at home all year long. Now we go on the road to Memphis before heading back home for our 3rd game. And we have a very neck-and-neck matchup right now. Even through the first 2 quarters, back and forth here in the 3rd. We go out to a double-digit lead. Now Memphis trying to claw their way back in this 4th quarter. We're still in front. It is a 7-point game, 4:05 to go. Let's jump in and watch the rest. So here we go, 4 to play, and Memphis with a quick basket right there from Isaac Gonzalez closes the Aztecs lead down to 5. We're on the road here in the FedEx Forum trying to get our first win against this Memphis team all year long. And again, all these games have a huge impact on where our 1 seed odds remain. What a play by Kylan Moore as he blows by Zach Edey, who is coming off a 3 or 4 year extension here in Memphis. He's out there alongside John Morant, Grant Williams, Gonzalez, and Elijah Banks. Plenty of talent here in Memphis. That's why they're a top team. And now John Cobb is fouled out of the game for the 2nd straight time against Memphis. Elijah Banks clearly must have some pretty high draw foul tendencies. The free throw is up and good as Dylan Young will come in place of John Cobb at the 3. And the free throws close it back to 5. Memphis now in the bonus. We have yet to get there. Up ahead, though. Quick pass. Kylan Moore, back-to-back buckets. Both of them way too easy. Here's Morant. Lining one up, but that one's no good from downtown. Lucky break for the Aztecs defense. Under 3 to play now. McDaniels all the way to the rack, able to draw the foul. That is the 3rd on Grant Williams. Free throws for Jaden McDaniels. The front end goes. And the back end is up and out. 8-point lead. Edey pulls in the miss. Memphis has to get a lot of shots to drop here down the stretch in this ball game. You got Herb Jones guarding Elijah Banks. Triple off the screen. Absolutely buried. Big shot right there for the young star. With Cobb off the floor, right back to Kylan Moore through the contact from Edey. And he's got 6 straight points. Impressive stuff by him. Now Morant blows by Dennis, slips inside, but Jones picks him up and forces the miss right at the 10. On the other end, Dennis missed more wide open. Tries to do it himself. That bucket's no good. Now up ahead, Elijah Banks spinning his way, fading, too strong off the window. Back-to-back stops for Herb Jones. And now a free lane opens up for Kylan Moore once again. 90 seconds to go. Ja Morant trying to find a way inside. Here's Elijah Banks. Back to Morant. The catch and shoot triple. Once again offline. 9-point game. Memphis running out of time here on their home floor. Screen from Moore. Dennis finds him. Back door. He's picked up well. Offense resets. Young attacks AJ Griffin right to the rack for the deuce. Now Morant blows by Dennis right to the 10, and he is fouled on his way up. The bucket will count. That's the 4th on Kylan Moore here in this one. The free throw for Ja is online. They're going to full court press. Good screen by Jones. Dennis trying to milk some clock here. Has space to fire. Can't knock it down. Banks the rebound. He's a 6'9" guard. A very tall presence out there in the backcourts. As the triple's offline from Grant Williams. Up ahead, McDaniels with the final touch on this one. A 10-point lead. That should be all she wrote here. That 3 will go for AJ Griffin. But time not on their side. No shot clock left. Up to Dennis, and Memphis will not foul. And we're going to earn our first win against this team on the road. And now a chance to tie up the season series in this upcoming showcase game. 121-114 your final score. That's a really big win right there. Despite 29 points for Ja Morant and 4 steals, he does only shoot 2 for 10 from downtown. Elijah Banks, 18 points here in this one. But how about 28 and 11 for Kylan Moore? Cobb again fouls out, but puts up 17 points, had 3 steals himself. Dennis, 17 points. He shot way better here in this game. And now we have potentially the most important matchup of the season up next. Another nationally televised game at home, trying to move to 28-4 in Mexico City. Trying to keep up this hot run of form here. Only 2 losses here in our last 10 games. And looking to carry this into a couple of... We have 4 straight games coming up. No, 5 straight games in a row. This happened last time we had a NBA Cup Finals game. Our guys are going to be gassed, so we cannot trim down our rotation yet, because that would make a lot of guys even more fatigued. But here we go in the Palacio de los Deportes in Mexico City. The top 2 Western Conference teams facing off here in this one. We're trying to end our regular season games against this team and finish with a 2-2 record. Cobb's last 5 games, production has fallen. Looking to bounce back here in this one. And by the way, the Memphis head coach, his name is Lucas. Just incredible stuff this game cooks up sometimes. But here we go at home. And CDMX, Ja Morant opens the scoring, blown by Dennis for the deuce. Inside, Kylan Moore, the teardrop over Zach Edey. And he is still in first place, by the way, for most valuable player. If he can keep playing like he played to end our last game, that should keep him up there in first place. That shot's no good for Elijah Banks. We'll see if Herb Jones can lock him down here in this game. I hope he can. Dished out. Cobb picked up by Griffin. Crosses over. Back to McDaniels. Has to throw it up. And it's good. Morant steps back, creating some space for himself. That shot's offline. On the other end, Moore cuts and throws it down off the David Dennis assist. At home, Moore's averaged 28 points per game when he only puts up like 25.6 overall, so he clearly is a better player here at home, and that really makes a lot of sense. Edey now on the board with that little lay-in right there. And now another open three, McDaniels. No dice this time around. Banks over the top. No, he turns it over. Moore cuts off the pass. 3-on-2, and we lob it out of bounds. Wow. Looking to drive it now, and Banks is blocked out of bounds by Herb Jones. I do think that the wins added stat and the advanced stats does not really, like, I guess, involve defense, because it seems like the good offensive players, but not good defensive players tend to have like really high numbers, but then defense only talents like McDaniels and Herb Jones for the most parts are typically in the negatives, which is just not what it should be like, because clearly we are a way better team when those guys are on the floor. At least what I can tell so far based on the sim stats and the in-game numbers. But here we go, now tied at 7 apiece. Cobb baseline against AJ Griffin, works his way inside and able to draw the first foul on the Grizzlies. So Cobb fouled out on each of the last 2 games against this team. Can he avoid that here and also put up more than like 17 points? It's been a struggle so far against Memphis. Edey, right to the rim. What happened there? A handoff to Cobb. Back to Dennis. Now a screen off ball for Moore, but Edey stays with him. Shot clock under 5. Got to make something happen here. Moore fades, lefty hook. A little bit short. Timothy Stewart pulls down the rebound. I guess he's their starting power forward. He also got a big deal from the Grizzlies as Edey once again gets behind our defense. Memphis on top. Cobb steps back, a foot inside the arc. That one's no good. Ja Morant the rebound. Got his own deflected pass back and throws it down over Dennis. That's unfair. Ja Morant over 32 points per game against the Aztecs. In our first 3 matchups this season, we've had some real trouble containing him. Dennis with an easy bucket there, though. Out to AJ Griffin. He's a 3-point shooter, but it's not really showing off here. Cannot allow shots like that. Moore blocked off the backboard. Edey. Wow. Trailing right behind him. Just makes a really nice play, not giving up on defense. And now Morant, baseline, too strong. Good contest there by McDaniels. Downhill all the way to the 10 for the bucket and the foul. David Dennis through the contacts. trying to match Ja Morant's offensive output here. The free throw will put us back in the lead. Off-ball screen for Ja Morant. Catch and shoots. Too strong off the back iron. Now Cobb goes right to the rack. Griffin, no chance to deny John Cobb. Okay, number 8, I see ya. Low block. Moore called for the foul. 80 drew it. Free throws on the way for the 7-footer. I think he's taller than 7 feet, actually. I think he's like 7'1" or 7'2" or somewhere in that ballpark. But he's an 84% free throw shooter. We have shot 91% as a team at the line these last 30 days, which has us easily in first place. Moore trying to get one back on Edey, but passes out of it. Williams now out there for the first time here in this game. Moore spins and is too strong off the window. Couple of dribble moves from Morant. Passes out. Banks has to shoot it, and it's good. We're going to call timeout. Down by a point. Out to Sasser on the court for the first time. Got a great look, but couldn't take advantage. Oh, here we go. A familiar face, Julian Turner, coming off the bench here in Memphis. No wonder they're so good. Was, of course, on that Nets championship team a year ago that took us down in the NBA Finals. And now he's got a new home here with the Grizzlies. Young Young out there now, and his triple rattles out. Not a smart shot. And now, what? Come on, guys. This bad defense by Sasser. Morant with the easy cuts. One of the easiest buckets he'll have all season. Grizzlies now in the lead by 5 points off a really solid run. We're going to call timeout once again. The offense has slowed down quite a bit the last couple of minutes. Williams will get us back on track. Now for some defensive plays. Inside, Williams, a good contest. Edey fights through it and scores again. He's off to a very strong start. Memphis now shooting 10 for 16 from the field, man. Just not a whole lot of resistance from this Mexico City defense so far. Shot clock under 5. Gotta find something. Sasser with it. Can't get by Morant. And misses the pull-up jumper. Off the screen, Turner. Thought twice about pulling up from behind the arc. Williams now shuffles it, and Banks is fouled by Cobb. That's going to be his first. And free throws on the way. Elijah Banks over 24 points per game this year, shooting at a 50% clip. And he goes 1 for 2 here at the line. Somebody's got to give us some life here. Sasser drives and draws the foul. The third on Memphis, first on Turner. I'm trusting our free throws because we have been the best team as of late, and I believe all year as well, just like a year ago. And here we do get a 2 for 2 stint for Marcus Sasser. Gonzalez throws it up and out. I think he's coming off their bench too, but has a little star icon next to his name, so clearly, like Turner, a very good backcourt player to bring in as Dennis cuts inside and scores. 2-point game. Good penetration by Turner, backing down Dennis. Way too easy off the window. Dennis gets the hand off and absolutely detonates on Julian Turner. He's been pretty good so far. And now we almost get a steal, and that's going to be a turnover. Dylan Young putting his body on the line. What a play. How about Kylan Moore? Every year, those rebounds per game go up. Driving by Grant Williams. Moore gets right to the rim. Got his own miss back. Open three, Dylan Young got it to go. It's going to count despite the loose ball foul against Moore. Aztecs back in front. Inside, Turner got behind our defense and draws the foul. Lucky he missed that layup attempt. Could have been an and one. Fouls against Dylan Young. 2 more free throws for Julian Turner. And he hits this pair. Maurice Mullen on the court now for the first time. So is Braden McCaw. 3-second shot clock differential. The fadeaway just misses from the elbow. Adams back out. Turner, a good look from downtown. Can't hit. And that will take us to the end of the first quarter as that one's way off from beyond half court. It's 28-27. Grizzlies in front by a hair. Second quarter underway. Cobb and Moore back out there as Cobb tries his luck from long range but can't connect. Grizzlies have Turner, Gonzalez, Williams, Griffin, and Adams out there right now. Kind of a small ball lineup as Turner's offline as well from behind the arc. Here's McCaw to Young. The reverse jam will go. The Aztecs retake the lead. 7 lead changes, 4 ties so far. A very back and forth game. Here's AJ Griffin, pumped once. Tries for real that time, but can't get it to go. Jalen Williams hacked by Turner. That's number 2 on him. Jalen Williams knocks down the front end. He's averaged over 10 points per game off our bench on very efficient numbers. He's been a big part of why we have kind of turned things around this year in terms of the regular season. Now have, fought up to first place for much of this season. Turner just doing it all by himself. That one dances off the rim. Dump down low. Moore doubled. Open three. And Williams absolutely laces it. Turner from the elbow. Once again offline. Cold start for him this quarter after a strong first. Now a mismatch inside again. Moore gonna get called for a 3 in the key unless he goes up, which he did. And he draws the first on BJ Murphy. A nice run to open up this second quarter. Front end for Kylan Moore. Nothing but nylon. Cobb back on the floor, as is Dennis. The free throws are good. Working his way inside. Back out to Gonzalez now. He's been quiet tonight. He's 0 for 1 from the field, but he makes a great pass to Adams. Those are his first points. Kylan Moore is wide open. He's picked up well by Stewart, but fights through it and scores. Good crossover and step back. But Jones sticking with Gonzalez here. Over 2 defenders. He got that one to go off the glass. Very tough shots. Quick pull up there. Moore can't get it to go. Gonzalez pulls down the miss. Moore now 3 for 8 from the field, 8 points. I think he's played very well so far. Gonzalez just trying to find some breathing room. He's not going to get it, but again, still scores. Back-to-back incredibly tough shots for him that both fall. He averaged over 17 points per game off their bench. So like Turner, kind of a spark plug kind of a player. They have an incredible backcourt quadruplet or whatever it's called, quartet. Here's J-Dub trying to find some room. Back out. McCall's going to have to shoot, and it's offline. Stepping into a triple. Turner knocks it down. A 1-point game. That is a 7-0 Memphis run. Dennis working against Turner. Blows by him. And absolutely throws it down. 11 points for him. 10 of which have come inside the paints. putting tons of pressure on the rim right now. It's got us in front. Turner ties the game, though, with back-to-back trifectas. And now it's a 12-4 Memphis run. After we got off to a hot start this quarter, we've quieted down. McCaw's triple won't go, but Williams comes through with the offensive rebounds. Got to find a shot now. Jones out to Dennis. The three is absolutely drilled. Ja Morant back on the floor for Memphis, going right at Dennis, and he left it too strong. Mark Williams now out there, pulls down the rebound. McDaniels, stutter steps. Williams mismatched. Now he's doubled. We don't find the open man. Now McCaw out to Jones. He's given some room. You can't do that against Herb Jones. But he can't make him pay. Wow, what a pass across the court. The three just rattles out for Adams. A lucky break right there for the Aztecs. Dennis cuts and absolutely stuffs it home. These guys cannot contain David Dennis right now. He's got like 16 points playing out of his mind. Morant blows by him and knocks down the pull-up on the other end to quiet the crowd. What a pass by McDaniels. Williams back out to Jones. McCaw with a very ill-advised triple. And he has been very quiet so far on the offensive end. Morant pulls up again. That one dances out. Now Dennis cuts through the contact again. It does not matter who is there. Wow. Griffin right to the rack. McCaw was looking for a charge and nothing was called. Just a free 2 points. Screen from Mark Williams. Dennis thought twice about pulling up there. Shot clock under 5. Good look at a triple. McDaniels rattles it home. And it's going to be a 6-point lead now for the Aztecs. Elijah Banks finally back out there for the Grizzlies. More isolation. Contested shots in and out for Ja Morant. Good defense by Dennis that time. Morant now 4 for 10. McCaw finally scores to break his own cold spell. Elijah Banks has been quiet here in this game. And he's blocked by Jones. They get it back. Griffin against McCaw, shrugs him off and lays it in for the douche. Just an unlucky offensive rebound after a good defensive play by Jones. But he has been absolutely locking down Banks here in this game so far. Let's keep it up. Dennis soars! Great feed there by Mark Williams. Dennis yet to miss from the field. So now he's got 20. AJ Griffin pulls the trigger, but can't connect from downtown. Mark Williams with the ball now, looking to attack the baskets. He's got an undersized defender on him, but can't really get by him. Shot clock now ticking away. McDaniels, not this time. On the other end, Adams gets behind Dennis, up and under, left it a little bit too short. Waiting for a good look. It's an open three. Herb Jones just barely missed it. Up ahead, Banks works his way inside, finds Adams, but he can't knock it down. Back-to-back misses for him. Mark Williams goes right up against Adams. This time got it to go. Now he's got his takeover activated for the first time in a long time. And it's a 10-point first half lead for Mexico City. Very strong second quarter so far. The step back triple is absolutely buried though by Ja Morant. Couple of screens off ball for McCaw. Open look. Still could not get one to fall. Now Banks blows by Jones right to the rim, and now a really bad foul. Man, just let him go if that's going to happen to you. Just let him blow by you. These two teams are 2 and 3 respectively in terms of points per game. But the Rockets, like a year ago, still #1 in offensive points per game. But now just 1 second, really like a half-second differential here on the shot clock. We'll save for the final possession. Cobb and Moore back out there. Dennis draws the foul on Morant. And he has been absolutely feasting so far tonight. He's already matched his per-game average for the season at 20.0. The free throws are both good. Give him 22. Just a couple seconds left. John Morant from the logo. Almost got it to drop, but it's 58-52. Aztecs in control. Second half underway here in our home arena. John Cobb, first shot of the half, open, good to push our lead up to 9. We have shot 90% at the line this season, even better than a year ago, and of course, still first place. Just incredible players on this team that know how to shoot the ball. But Zach Edey picks up where he left off. I don't think he appeared in that second quarter for some reason. But he's back out there to open the third quarter. And is already up to a relatively good start. 7-point game here. Cobb steps back behind the line. Can't knock it down. Second try. Herb Jones. Nothing but nets. Man, look down below at that ticker. Charlotte just lost 122-66 against, I think that was Toronto. How do you lose that poorly? And now a blowout down there in New York. The Knicks obliterate the Brooklyn Nets, who I'm assuming are way worse than a year ago record-wise. We'll see. We'll see if they make the playoffs at all. This step back for Cobb is also off the mark. AJ Griffin the rebounds. Downhill, Morant fouled. It's the first on Dennis here in this game. We'll see if Cobb or Moore can kind of take some of the load off of Dennis here and help us spread the ball out a bit more and keep the offense up. The free throws are good. It's down to 5. Isolation here. Cobb against Griffin. Steps back again. And that time it's going to fall. Now Morant blows by Dennis right to the 10 for the deuce. Both teams have shot 52%. Morant's got, what is that, 14, 15 points now. A step back is kind of canceled by Moore. Shot clock under 5. Cobb blows by Griffin. Easy buckets. Morant once again with a strong take. And a soft touch off the high part of the glass. Dennis trying to return the favor and does draw the third foul on Morant. Still no answer for #1 in whites. This season, Kyle Moore has been #2 in terms of rebounds per game. Edey kind of far behind, but in third place by a board and a half. Dennis, once again, 2 for 2. Good pass, open shot, AJ Griffin can't connect. Give it Dennis the rebound, a good pass up ahead. Kylan Moore with the emphasis. Herb Jones the assist. Zach Edey calling for it down low, working against McDaniels. Both of our lockdown defenders were there, but they could not stop him. 16 points now, 14 inside the paint for Zach Edey. Here's Cobb spotting up. That one a little bit offline. Now here's Stewart getting physical. That one's going to go over McDaniels. And it's back to 5. Cross-court pass. McDaniels. No luck from behind the arc. Banks the rebounds. Got a mismatch here. Dennis on Edey. Memphis not looking to attack it, at least right now. Griffin has space, and that one's offline too. Now we have a mismatch on the other end. Moore over Morant. The lefty hook is offline. Just back him down next time and just pass it out. They lob it up out of bounds, and they turn the ball over. Aztecs retake possession. Lob it up, and Dennis still with no misses. A pass by John Cobb got him right to the rack on the alley-oop. We're still a top 4 passing team in this NBA season. Just below 31 assists per game despite not having a true backup point guard. That three is not going to go for Elijah Banks. He has still been ice cold all night long. Now a nice pass over the top, but the layup won't go for Moore. Edey might be in his head a little bit too much right now as he blocks the shot on the other end twice. What a play! Morant thought he had space, but Moore too lengthy to get the shot over him. And now Herb Jones draws the first on Elijah Banks. What a sequence for Kylan Moore on the other end. That was awesome. Free throws, though, for Herb Jones. First one on the money. And the back end is up and good. Backing down, Kylan Moore getting right to the rim. The reverse layup is too strong off the backboard and no good. Up ahead, Williams at the hoop. What a feed there from Kylan Moore. And our lead extends to double digits. And that's going to be a foul on Dennis, his second. Morant and Dennis trading some choice words, it seems. It's getting chippy out there between these two top Western Conference opponents. Both point guards playing very well. Morant now up to 19 points. Right to the rack and fouled again. This time it's a foul on Edey. The free throws for the Blueprints. Front ends. Perfect. The back end is up and also good. Morant has a path, but Young comes over and swats the shot away. Dylan Young having a couple of nice defensive plays and nice hustle plays this episode. And I think right now it is between Mullen and McCaw to be the first guy that gets completely benched, and then come playoff time, just could be the other guy that got lucky to close the year. I think Dylan Young has played his way into that 9th spot in the rotation. John Moran, a quick bucket right there off the assist from AJ Griffin. Under 4 to play here in the third. Little pick and roll here, and Moore gets loose inside. 13-point lead now. Moore's got a plus 12, plus minus 14 points on 12 attempts. Timeout Memphis. Good pass over the top. Back out to Griffin, though. Elijah Banks trying to get free. So is Morant. He's picked up by Dennis. Crossing over multiple times. Banks has to jack it up. And it's gonna drop. What a shot. Screen sets. Dennis the triple. Still can't miss. 29 points. He is on an absolute heater. I have never seen a guy play this efficiently. And he's hit some very tough shots this game too. But John Morant answers back with one of his own. 10-point game. Memphis not going away. Inside. Double team coming. Moore still throws it up. Not a smart idea. John Morant over the top. Through the hands of Kylan Moore. They are back within single digits, folks. Catch and shoot 3 for Cobb. That one's offline. Good box out by Grant Williams to pull down the miss. Under 90 seconds left to go here in the quarter. Gotta stop a potential Memphis run. But Sasser's called for a foul. Julian Turner is great at drawing these, man. The first free throw is going to drop in. And the back end is up and out this time. Unlucky bounce. Up ahead, Sasser, quick three, offline. He's been quiet offensively. And now behind the defense, but Moore gets back and recovers nicely. And then swiftly turns it over, of course. Backdoor, A.J. Griffin rises and throws it down. Island Moore, double teamed, open three, John Cobb, no good. Moore tips it to himself and draws the foul on Gonzalez. It's a pretty key offensive board right there. Moore knocks down the first free throw, and he hits both. Takeover now reactivated. 13-second shot clock differential. Turner steps into a trifecta. That one rattles out. Now we could hold the ball for the final shot of the quarter and a chance to go back up by 9 or 10 points here. Time winding away. Moore rises over Turner. Nothing but nylon. A strong finish to the quarter after a little bit of a run by Memphis, and we are back up by 9 points, 91-82. 12 to go here at home. Fourth quarter underway. Memphis looking for a comeback effort here. Elijah Banks rises, but his three is too strong. And he has really not had a lot of volume here in this game and has not really scored the ball too well with those few attempts. There's been a couple of tough shots, but I think he still is below 10 points here with only a quarter left to play. Shot clock winding down here, though. Mullen has to rise, and that three is gonna fall. Good crossover by Banks. Hands it off to Grant Williams. Backing down J-Dub. Got him in the air, and scores. A little bit of isolation here. Dylan Williams from the elbow. That one dances off the rim. Timothy Stewart. The rebounds, open look, and Turner missed it. Gets it back, and this time cashes in. Pick and roll, Mark Williams rolling right inside. Stewart too late to react. Banks, lefty shot too strong off the back iron, and no good. Dump inside, back out to Williams. Got all of our backups except for Cobb out there right now, or at least 4 of our bench players, 4 of our 6. Cobb, the lone starter on the floor right now for the Aztecs. Trying to hold on to this 9-point lead. Gonzalez, the step back. That one just misses. They've had so many close calls from downtown this game. Now J-Dub, who would be a starter on most teams, played a couple games in our starting 5 this year, but I think he's better fit off our bench. He finds Sasser, who can't get it to go from the elbow. I think if we have to, Sasser could also be one guy that we could take out of our lineup, but he shot the ball pretty well this year, at least in simming. We'll see if that holds true come playoff and if he actually stays in our full rotation. But Gonzalez draws the foul on Mullen. And free throws are on the way. The first of which is up and good. And Gonzalez goes 2 for 2. Edie back on the floor now. Facing off against Mark Williams. Quick three. Jalen Williams. It just bounces out. And now we force a turnover. Mark Williams with that deflection. J-Dub through the contacts. The hoop plus the harm. Gonzalez can't believe it. And the free throw will put our... Never mind. It's no good. Quick move. Gonzalez dashing inside for the deuce. Mullen fades. That one's off. Stewart over a couple defenders gets that one to go. It's once again back to 5. Now I want to let the Grizzlies get back in this game. They're clawing their way back though. But we get a quick bucket on the other end to kind of quell the little run here. 13 points now for J-Dub. Here's Banks over Cobb. Too strong. Very small in the rebounds. On the other end, Cobb cans it from long range. Turner finds a lane but lost the ball midair. Jarred loose by Cobb. Williams pulls up and absolutely nails it. And just over half the quarter left to play. Can Memphis spark a rally here? Here's an open three. Banks finally gets one to go. Starting lineups back out there for the Aztecs. Morant back out there for Memphis as Cobb draws number 2 on Griffin. He is beside himself. Falling to the floor after that foul call. Front end good for Cobb. He's got 15 points here in this one. But it's only been called for like 1 foul maybe. Doing a great job not, giving contact and just pretty much taking some pretty good shots, I think. He's been pretty solid. Not great or anything, but he's been solid. And a lot of guys have been contributing to the offense here in this game. Dennis has been relatively quiet in this quarter and this half, really, compared back to the first half. But him slowing down has not really been a big impact to the team. Screen comes over. Dennis working his way inside. Finds more in the corner. Wide open. He absolutely buries it. And our lead is back to 11. Morant catches and fires, but can't stick it. And Kylan Moore's there for the rebound. Cobb feeling himself, but misses the pull-up jumper. Morant attacks, and Dennis just got completely shoved out of the way. Cobb fires a 3. That one in and out. 9-point game, still plenty of basketball left. Got to lock in for just a little while longer. And hold on to this lead and tie the season series up. Morant has free throws on the way. Herb Jones picks up the foul. 4 minutes left on the dots. Memphis continues to hang around. Edey back out there. Starters fully back in for both squads. Yeah, put the ball in this guy's hands. He's been our hottest player. He drives, but it's blocked! And that's his first miss. Amazing help defense from Elijah Banks. Jones on Morant. Gets another stop at the rim. Had a couple of those back in the first. And now Dennis lobs it up, and John Cobb rises for the flush. Defense to offense. Gotta love it. Morant attacks the rim. Soft touch once again off the window. We are 40 for 78. They are 40 for 77. I think that, 3-point shooting and free throws have been the biggest difference makers in this game so far. That's why we're in front. But both teams have shot pretty much evenly. Moore, misses at the hoop. Good defensive stand there by Zach Edey. And Memphis, man, they are fighting tooth and nail right now. Gotta get a couple of stops here. The step back will not go for Ja Morant. Jumper has been a little bit inconsistent here. Oh, Dennis, the crossover. Now the pull-up. Man, he's so good right now. He's having one of his best games all year long, scoring-wise. 31 points as Morant just powers through Kylan Moore and David Dennis. Under 2 to go. Screen set by Moore. The 3 for Dennis. That one rattles out. Morant drives, but left it short. Edey stuffs it back in, and a really bad foul by McDaniels will give them a chance to close our lead to 4 with a minute 35 to go. He does knock it down. We gotta play smart here on both ends. We've led for a long time now. We cannot blow it late. ISO for Dennis, and Morant picks up his 4th foul. Dennis not afraid to put pressure on the rim right now. And well-deserved MVP chance. What a performance by David Dennis here tonight against our toughest opponents in the conference this season. The free throws are both up and good. Stewart comes up, sets the screen. Morant pulls up. Wow, what a shot. Moore, the screen. Dennis holds on to it and turns it over. Gotta get a stop right here. Stewart cuts. Too strong. Defenders got there in time. McDaniels one of them. Now he's open for a 3. That might be the dagger. Once again, defense turns to offense for these Aztecs. Time running out for the Grizzlies. Good take there by Elijah Banks. Closes the gap to 5. It's been around a 5-point game for most of this contest, and now we are in the bonus. Herb Jones. Some big free throws in crunch time. The first one is up and good. We beat this team by this exact score line just a couple days ago. Can we hold on? Banks right to the rack. Back-to-back buckets for him here late in the 4th quarter. More free throws on the way for Jones. How long can we play this game for? First free throw is good. Herb Jones, a couple of big crunch time shots. Banks, the 3. That one's off. And Memphis is not going to foul here with 10 seconds to go and counting. And David Dennis will end up being the leading scorer of the game, I believe, at least for us. And what a game it was for him. He leads the way as the Aztecs win back-to-back games against the Grizzlies. One here at home, one on the road. We even the season series up. And now the tiebreaker, I think, belongs to whoever has the best conference record. And I want to say it's us, but I'm not too sure. Now about 33 points for David Dennis on 12 for 14 shooting. An incredible display out of him. 21 and 12 for Kylan Moore. John Cobb once again does not really play all too well against the Grizzlies, but he still gave us a couple of key moments. Williams off our bench, 15 points, 6 for 8. Thought he was very good. Nobody else, I mean, had a couple guys shoot poorly in Sasser and Bacaw, but can't really complain. Ja Morant does actually have the most points between these two teams with 37. Edie goes 9 for 10, but we hold on to win because we drew more fouls this time around. That was the difference in this game. I'll take it. Oh my God, are you kidding me? No! We just beat the Blue Crabs, but now nobody's even thinking about that. Kylan Moore, fractured left leg, and that is going to end his season. Unbelievable. Oh my God, this changes everything. This changes absolutely everything. What do we do now? What do we even do now? He was the MVP frontrunner last time we saw. He was having a career season. And now, who is likely our best player, is out for the rest of 2032. Wow, this is even worse than losing Herb Jones a year ago. Man, everything was looking up. Everything was looking so good. And now, maybe it all comes crumbling down due to another season-ending injury. I am just absolutely floored. He was putting up career numbers in points per game, rebounds per game, assists per game, blocks per game, 3-point percentage, free throw percentage. He broke our team record for most blocks in one season, and not even with like a whole month left. And now he's done. And that means that we need everybody else, John Cobb included, to really step their game up the rest of the way, because now our season hinges on them. And we still have like 3 more games after just playing 2 back-to-back. We have a 5-game stretch of 5-day stretch of 5 games. And this might be partly a result of that. And that means that Marvin Bagley will come in to get plenty of playing time behind Mark Williams. This is just absolutely season-changing. I don't even know how to respond to this, but we have to. Going to give Bagley 20 minutes off our bench. We're forced to trim our lineup down to, I guess it's still 6 guys coming off our bench. But, you know, thank God we added some depth across the board, because injuries like that are why you gotta have it. You know, we are a much deeper team than a year ago. I think that we have a better third center in Bagley than we had in Bona last year, so I guess we'll just have to see how this goes. But in this game that we just won, where he got hurt, 20 plus for 3 different players for Baltimore, Cobb had 44 and 11, took 20 free throws, my lord. Moore had a double-double going, and went down late in this game in the 4th quarter. Wow. How will this affect our results the rest of the way? Probably pretty significantly, I would have to assume. There's still plenty of time left. NBA Cup Finals here against the Magic. A big 3rd quarter by Orlando gives them a pretty sizable lead. We go to the 4th quarter, trying to battle back here. It's very tight. 4:20 left to go. We trail by 3. Can our new look roster, coming immediately off the injury a day later, win our 2nd NBA Cup trophy? We have the ball already in the bonus here in Las Vegas, trailing by a triple. Dennis drives, can't get it to go, and Isley comes in for the rebounds. Orlando top 10 rebounds this year. We have only been like 15th with Kylan Moore, so without him, we're going to be even worse. The 3 is good from Anthony Black, and they double their lead. Backdoor lob. McDaniels went up a little bit too late. It'll stay with us, though. Out of bounds off Isley. Dennis, quick shot off the feed from Herb Jones, knocks it down. He's got 12 points here in this game, but has not shot the ball very effectively. Stepping back, the jumper will not go for, I believe that's Chuck Carter. It was, Corey Carter rather. 28 points here in this game. He was a top draft pick just a couple years ago. Having a great performance here in this one. Gotta find something here. Screen comes up. Dennis has to fire. That one hits the back iron. Wagner pulls up and absolutely drills it. Magic shooting 42 for 75 here in this game. We are 3 shots behind them. 6-point game. Can Dennis and Cobb and our defenders step in? Here's Mark Williams. Back to Cobb. He's blocked by Franz. You might have to move to a lineup where Williams actually comes in as a starter with Moore being out to give us that third scoring option in the starting 5, because right now we pretty much have 3 defenders. But a big 3 by Dennis cuts the Magic lead in half. We still have a chance. Carter up and under. That one's denied by Jones. Up ahead. Cobb. Back out. McDaniels passed out the open 3. Now he's got Herb Jones coming off a screen. Wide open to tie it. It's no good. That's a huge miss. Up to Carter. He can't get it to go. Under 90 seconds left here in the NBA Cup Finals. A packed house here in Vegas. John Cobb. Out to Williams. He's got Dennis wide open. He's got another triple in crunch time. 8 points here in the quarter. We are all tied at 120. Carter blows by Jones, but misses at the rim. Dennis with the shot contests. The top teams of either conference facing off here in this one. Dennis! He's got 8 straight. All right, it all comes down to this. Turner ties it up. We call timeouts. Both teams top 5 passing teams this season. They're in 3rd place, 36 tonight. Absolutely incredible. Out to Jones. Now to Cobb. Shot clock approaching 10 seconds. Dennis has space. That one misses. Wagner pulls it down. There's about a 10-second shot clock differential here in a tie ball game. Corey Carter working against Jones. Steps back and missed it. Cobb pulls it down. Up to David Dennis. He's hit a couple of huge shots this episode. No shot clock left. I think Dennis wants the rock for the final shot. No, he'll find Jones to win it. Missed it at the buzzer. We are headed to overtime here in the NBA Cup Finals. And the tip-off of overtime is won by Miles Turner. I want to see Cobb get some looks here in this extra period to hopefully get the offense back in line here, but defense has been pretty solid down the stretch. Can't lie about that. Here's Wagner looking to attack the basket. Cobb stays with them, but can't get the stop. Orlando in the lead. Out. Now McDaniels. We're trying to find a shot here, but good defense by the Magic, and they cut the pass off. Fast break for Sundin. To the corner. Open look, and Carter misses another open 3. He's gone cold here late since the 4th quarter. We lob it up way too late. Perhaps it was too early. Just a mistimed pass there between Dennis and Mark Williams. Wagner, back out, sunned in, late triple, hits the front rim and comes out. Here's John Cobb, whipped inside to Mark Williams. Now Dennis has it, his triple's offline. We have yet to score here in overtime. Only one basket for Orlando. Off the screen, couple of pump fakes by Wagner, backdoor slip, Sundin doubles the Magic lead. Cobb tries one from long distance. It's back to a one-point game. Give this guy the rock late. Come on, man. He's got to be your go-to scorer with Kyle Moore no longer out there. Carter, the screen. Wagner gets it back to him. And he can't connect again. We are getting so lucky on those misses right now. Backdoor, Jones, great extra pass. McDaniels puts us in front. Beautiful basketball on display by these Aztecs. Under 2 to go. It's a 2-point deficit now for Orlando. Wagner drives and is fouled on his way up. David Dennis called for his third. 96% at the line for Franz Wagner. What in the world? That's got to be the highest for anybody this season. And his free throws are both on the money. We are tied again. It's already been a very long episode. Could we just please end this game before double OT? Quick three. Cobb offline this time. Needs some defense here. Mismatch now with Dennis guarding Miles Turner. Carter working against John Cobb. Trying to get inside. And he's going to draw the foul. Magic in the bonus now. MVP chance in Vegas for Corey Carter, who misses the front end. This guy could not get anything to fall right now. The back end will go. Orlando leads. Dennis is open. Fires it off and gets it to go. Cobb the assist. Yeah, we are going back and forth, fighting tooth and nail here in the NBA Cup. Carter fouled again. This time it's Herb Jones. Just his first of the game. Front end goes for Carter, who has missed at least his last 5 shots, probably 6 actually. But this time hits both free throws. Now under a minute to go. Tied at $131. Cobb blows by Wagner. Back out. Dennis, same spots. Different results. Need to stop right here. Black's wide open. Can't drop it in. Mark Williams comes in for a huge defensive rebound. 30 seconds left and counting. Herb Jones draws number 4 on Turner. And free throws on the way again in crunch time. The front end will go for Jones. But who do we take out of the starting 5 if we were to bring Williams in? Is it McDaniels or Jones? Probably McDaniels. But then you are even more undersized on the interior, so it's kind of a tough choice. And if you bring in Williams, you move Cobb back to the 2 spot. So we got to really figure this out. And we'll have plenty of time between now and the postseason. But 27 seconds left. 3-second differential on the shot clock. The step back for Carter will finally go. A couple of big plays by him in overtime. We're going to save for the final shot of OT. Dennis to win it. Drills it. Orlando has no timeouts. 3 seconds. Carter from the logo. No good. The Aztecs win in overtime. David Dennis does it again. The game-winning shot. Some big fourth-quarter threes. And man, what a last couple of games for him. Absolutely incredible. Now we have 2 NBA Cup final wins here in our last 3 seasons. Despite 33 for Carter, Dennis, Williams, and Cobb lead a heroic fourth quarter effort. We come back and we win the game. We have 2 more in this 5 straight game stretch. I'm not even sure what I can do right now. Like, I know what I can do, but not sure what I should do. We have another game against the Magic here coming up. I think I'll get through these next 2 games, and then we will see what to do about the lineup change. But if we keep on winning, then why change it up before the playoffs arrive? But we just won pretty darn big again. Cobb and Dennis step up to the plate. 42 for Cobb, 33 for Dennis. Big day off the bench for Sasser. Efficient scoring for both Williamses and Marvin Bagley. Nobody shot poorly for us whatsoever. 33 for Ant, but we just got win number 50. Shooting over 60%. And we hold a 4-game lead on the Rockets. Memphis now 5.5 games back. And we are relatively close to securing the 1 seed for the first time in this series. And we just lost by 1 against a terrible Celtics team. They're over 20 games below 500. And a fourth quarter comeback allows them to steal one here in TD Garden. 24 for Cobb, but he fouled out early. That was a big reason why we just lost this game. That cannot happen come playoff time or come down the stretch of this season. And now coming off a brutal loss against the Magic, we lose 2 straight, and we also lose Jalen Williams for a short time due to a sprained right knee. So now we can't even bring him into our starting 5. This is absolutely brutal. Why would they ever give you 5 straight games? That completely screwed us over. I think we are kind of forced to play Bagley a lot more here, and he'll get playing time now at the 4 whenever he's not out there at center. And we're going to have to probably bring in Kozlov or Jabari Ellis until Williams comes back. It won't be a long injury at all, but it is going to sideline pretty much our only forward coming off, or our only power forward coming off the bench. So I think we'll give Kozlov a chance to play there. And we'll hopefully bring Williams back very, very soon. But for now, this is our lineup. But in this revenge match for Orlando, we just did not get good play from our stars. They both shot pretty poorly. Isley puts up 32, Carter 29, Bencaro 20 and 10. Bencaro must have fouled out in that last game where it was just hurt because he was not there. Yeah, he did foul out before we jumped in, so that makes sense. But now with only 3 weeks left, the Rockets are now within 3 games. If we blow this, I'm going to be absolutely sick. We notch a close win here on the road against the Kings. 34 for Miller, 37 for Dennis. He has played really well in the absence of Kylan Moore. Really stepping up here. Mullen 11 off our bench. Bagley 10 and 11. Good job by a lot of role players here in this one, as we shoot 45% from downtown. But a really close match. I mean, these numbers are almost identical across the board here between these 2 teams. We get Williams back now to full health before this game against Utah. And I think we should probably start him to give that added boost to our starting 5. Now, who do we take out, though, from this lineup in the starting 5? I mean, McDaniels might not be a volume shooter, but when he has shot the ball, he has been really, really good. I mean, these numbers are really jumping out. I mean, his jump from last year to this year, he's having a career year from behind the arc, just out of nowhere. Herb Jones is playing very well, but I think for size, you probably want to bring Jones off your bench now. But he will probably have a larger role than he has right now in terms of the minutes per game. So we'll see if this one they're working out. But now Cobb's going to move to the 2. So Quite a bit of change coming up, but it's got to happen for us to stay on track here. This means that we're going to go to that option 2 lineup that I showed at the very beginning of the episode. It kind of forced our hand here at this stage in the season. We'll give a few more minutes off the bench to Bagley because he's, I think, played a pretty good role for us in place of Island Moore. So we'll give him a few more extra minutes, and we'll go from there. This is absolutely insane. Immediately after the win against Utah, or during the win, now Mark Williams gets hurt with the right finger hairline fracture. Bro, just wear a cast. I'm just begging you, man. Play through it. We have one center left. It's Marvin Bagley who's gonna have to start. This is absolutely ridiculous, man. They're killing me here. But at least we got the win. But now who comes in to be our backup center? Probably Kozlov. He can play there at 6'11". Let's hope he shoots efficiently. In that win against Utah, though, John Cobb put up 49 points. A heroic performance to earn us the win. Dennis, the last couple games, has been absolutely incredible as well, putting up a boatload of points. What a stretch for this guy. Oh boy, here we go. Next game against the Rockets. We trail by 2, 11 seconds left on the road. I think we have the ball. Let's watch what could be the final play here. We do indeed have the ball. Inbound to Cobb. Just find a good look. And hope he knocks it down. Is that Zach Webb out there? It is. Cobb for the win. No good. In and out. It's actually Carlos Morales, I think, but it looks a lot like Webb. The Rockets hang on to win as Cobb misses the game-winning shot at the buzzer. And they just got a full game closer now. They're back to within 3. 26 for Morales, 21-10 for Bauer, 28-10 for Cobb, 23-9 for Dennis. Good day off the bench for Sasser, but we lose. Despite shooting better than them, they took 56 threes and hit 38%. That was probably a big reason why they just won that game. And again, they're back within 3. Mark Williams, before our next game, is back to full health. Thank God. Oh my, every game somebody is going down. This is absolutely insane. We got the win again, but at a cost. Jones might miss the rest of the regular season now. He should be fine come playoff time. But, I mean, it's every game at this stage in the year. Fatigue is really ramping up, but we cannot really afford to sit guys because we are fighting for the 1 seed. But is it that important? Maybe it's not. Clearly got a couple guys gassed up here, but we're coming off a game like immediately, so that is why that's kind of showing up there. But now we're missing another defender. That means that Kozlov comes back into our rotation. We give a few extra minutes to McCall, Mullen, and Young to make up that lost time from Jones. We can't really afford to shorten our rotation back to 10 until we get everybody except for Moore back, honestly. In that win, though, a strong fourth quarter earns us the victory, 41-10 for Cobb. He has had some monstrous games over the last 2 or so weeks since Moore went down. We take down Milwaukee next, behind 28 for Cobb, 23 for Dennis, double-doubles for our 2 centers, and a nice day off the bench for Maurice Mullen. 24 for Giannis, 23 for former Aztec Cam Christie. How is his year gone? He has put up career-high numbers, shooting very, very well. 42 more points for John Cobb here in a win against New Orleans. Dennis a double-double, 20 points for J-Dub. Another good day for Mullen. We had 7 stocks from Mark Williams here in this game. That's impressive. But we get absolutely clobbered by Denver. A big second half after we had a halftime lead. And it seems like a lot of guys just don't really shoot the ball too well. The offenses cannot find their rhythm in this game. And our defense also got completely steamrolled. We do get Herb Jones back a little bit early. He'll return to our lineup. He once again blow a halftime lead, this time against, well, it might be the East leading Miami Heats, or at least the top 2 team over there, but Cobb shot poorly. 22 for Dennis. Nobody else really had a good day on high volume. Jaquez, 9 for 13. Hayes, 11 for 17. And with 4 games left, the Rockets are within 2 games now. And the Grizzlies have fallen now down to 4. Wow, the Mavericks now at number 3. We are 5-5 on our last 10. We are hitting a slow part in the year at the worst possible time. 2 home games, 2 road games left. We got New York first. And we absolutely crushed them. John Cobb, a triple-double. He has had so many 40-point games over the last couple of weeks. This is absolutely incredible. I mean, sure, it's had a couple not so good shooting games, but he is still putting up some monster numbers. Dennis as well. 3 games left. The Rockets lost. And we are 1 win away, I think, maybe, from securing the 1 seed. We're so close. We're almost there. Now we got Golden State up next. And we got the win off a great third quarter. 125-118. 37 for David Dennis. 24 for Cobb. And that should do it. We have indeed secured the number 1 overall seed in the Western Conference for the first time as a franchise. We got 2 games left. We face Denver. We beat them this time around. We get win 58 despite 23 and 10 for Jokic. Dennis, a double-double. Cobb shoots poorly. Double figures, though, for many other players. Our last game, on a 3-game win streak, we face the Celtics, who have 54 losses. We'll simcast it to see the stats, and then we'll close the episode with some team stats, player stats, and all the award winners. In this game, Boston gets out to an early lead. Can we please not lose against this team? Like, sure, it doesn't really matter at all, but I don't want to go into the playoffs losing again against a bad Celtics team, like a terrible Celtics team. It's coming down to it. We jump in front here with a monster fourth quarter, and we are going to hold on to win. Outscoring them by 13 points in that fourth quarter. 34 for Cobb in the last game of the season. 21 off the bench for Herb Jones. Good day for Dennis shooting-wise. 16 points for Williams. 22 for Stevens for Boston, but we come out on top. 4-game win streak. We get to 59 wins, our highest as a franchise. And your MVP is going to be, whoa, John Cobb. I purposely chose not to check it because I wanted to be kind of shocked after Moore got hurt and Cobb was in like 4th or 5th for most of the year and wins his first ever MVP. Wow, he took full advantage of his teammate's injury, really stepped up, puts up 28, 7, and 5, and shoots lights out across the board. Can we see like just complete consistency for Cobb throughout the playoffs? I really hope so. You know, he's a very as I've been talking about, you know, the last couple years, a very volatile shooter. He'll be hot one game, cold the next. Just depends. But he wins his first ever MVP. I think it would have been Kyle Moore had he not gotten hurt. Mingyu Zhang, though, wins Rookie of the Year with the Knicks. Evan Carter, 6th Player of the Year over Deion Houston. Wembanyama wins Depoy. Moore was in the running for that before he got hurt. Matt Hayes, Most Improved Player. Deion York, Clutch Player of the Year. Horace James Jr. of the Aztecs, Coach of the Year. While the Heat executive, Andrew Truman, wins Executive of the Year. And now we move to the All-NBA teams. John Cobb, an all-team selection, alongside Miller, York, Bauer, and Williams. Second team, Moore makes this, but he would have been in the first team had he not gotten hurt. Alongside John Morant, though, Dan George, Luka, and Zach Webb. Third team, De'Aaron Fox, Mobley, Banks, SGA, and Wembanyama. All defensive first team, Wemby, Asar Thompson, Alex Sarr, Deion York, and Evan Mobley. Second team, Frank Bauer, SGA, Chet Holmgren, Sally, and Kylan Moore. Man, what a disappointing end to his year. I just still cannot wrap my head around that. All rookie first team, you got 2 Knicks on this list. Corey Jack, Nick Roy, and Jacob Stevenson. Second team, you got Dion Irving, Pablo Sanchez of, and what's the game called? Backyard Baseball fame. Blake Leaf, Tim Russell, and Bo Armstrong, and those are your all-team selections. And here is what the bracket looks like right now. We'll send the play-in tournament real quick. And we're going to be facing Kibu Miller and the Kings. This is going to be a really, really fun first-round matchup, because we know that Miller plays his best against us. He's got teammates like Tyler Harrow, Jed Howard, Antonis Patsatsoglu, hopefully I'm not butchering that, Xavier Green, and Strother off their bench. We are definitely a better team by a mile, but Miller is just an incredible player. Crazy talents. We're missing Kylan Moore as well, but they beat Denver to get the 8 seed. You got Memphis facing off against the Thunder as the 4 and the 5. You got Dallas against Portland, Houston against Golden State. Over in the East, Orlando does secure the 1 seed. They will face off against the Brooklyn Nets to again slip into the playoffs via the play-in tournament after beating both Milwaukee and the Blue Crabs. You got Philly against Chicago, Detroit against Atlanta, and Miami against the Wizards. In terms of your league leaders in stats, let's go check those real quick. Your top scorer was John Cobb, once again with 28.2, followed by Dillingham and Deion York. Top rebounder was York, then Kylan Moore, then Mobley. Top passer, Halliburton, then Miller, who we face next episode, and Dan George. Most steals, SGA and Stephon Castle. Most blocks, Sarr, then Wemby, and then Kylan Moore. Field goal percentage, Isaiah Jackson, Jalen Duren, and Amen Thompson. In terms of threes, Haley Larson. Where was this dude? Are you kidding me? We could have used this last year. What a joke. Vassell up there. Leonard Law, for his Achilles, he's out for the season. Was up there as well. And let me go to free throws. SGA at 99%. What? That is just unfair. But Cobb at number 7 and at 96. Then it should be up here somewhere. He's at 22 at 93. So free throws have really gone up as of late in the series. You know, I think usually there's not really this many players up in the 90s, but there are a lot now. And in terms of plus minus, it's John Cobb, Kylan Moore in third place. Man, we're going to miss him a lot. Is that Jalen Williams? Yeah, it is. He's down here in the top 10. Okay. We got 3 guys in there. For the advanced stats, though, the leader in EWA is a tie between Deion York and Kibu Miller. With John Moran in third place, Cobb at 7 with 21. But Miller, man, you might want to start Herb Jones to stop this guy. But I guess we'll see what happens. I for sure want some feedback in there. Moore ends with 16.9. It would have been around 21, 22, 23 if he were not to get hurt. No doubt about that. But for the overall player stats for us this year, we saw Cobb's numbers. Moore 25, 11, and 3. with 1 steal, 2 blocks, shot very well. Great free throw shooter. For us this year, David Dennis, 21, 3 and 7, and shot better than Cobb from downtown. And you saw that late in some of those games to close out the season. Jalen Williams, more than 40% from downtown, 86 at the line, 48 from the field, up to 11 points per game by year's end. Filling that Jarris Walker void very well. Marcus Sasser was our 5th leading scorer, and he shot well across the board. Maybe we can't afford to sit him, but I mean, his defense is poor. I feel like he does shoot worse in the watched games, but I guess we'll probably just wait and see because we just have no point guard there besides Dennis. But Young did average more assists, so he is a better playmaker than Sasser is, at least based on these numbers. He ends up shooting 45% from the field, 34 from downtown, so a pretty steep drop-off compared to a year ago, where he was up to like 38%, I believe, from downtown, or 37 at least. But Mullen, 38%, 47 from downtown. He was a great free throw shooter at like 95%. Marvin Bagley, solid for us off the bench, 7 and 6. Fills that Mark Williams spot perfectly as Williams comes in place of Moore. Herb Jones, we know about him. Trustworthy shooter. He's going to get a lot of playing time this postseason. And McCaw, he ends with 5 points per game. Not playing much defense out there. Shot 40%, but was still a huge upgrade over a year ago by 15%. Shot almost 40% from downtown and 83 at the line. I think next year, if he has one more boost, he's going to have a substantial role for us. Mark Williams, 4 or 5 and 6 really. Efficient scorer. No questions asked. McDaniels, we already know about his numbers. Very, very promising. And when Kozlov played, he was bad. Just simply put. But Irvin Norris played like a little bit and did not miss a shot. So cool. But okay, those are your numbers. We'll look at our team stats to close out the year. It's been a long episode, folks. Shout out to you if you have watched the entire thing. It took me like 3 days to put this together in completion, but the Rockets end up with the top scoring team. We were just a little bit behind them, and then a steep drop off down to OKC, who ends up with their best year in a long time, now with Jarris Walker on their team. I mean, I think that was a deal that worked out for both teams pretty handily. I mean, Williams, I think, is a better fit for our team at this stage in our franchise. Jarris Walker perhaps fits their team better now, with some better growth from the young talent like Freddie Anthony. So this worked out for both squads. That is what I am looking for, is for trades to work out for both teams. I'm not trying to scam a team at all. Points allowed per game. Pelicans, the worst defense. Heat were the best. We were actually top 11 at 112. So I think you take that. We did have the highest differential, again, like a year ago. Shooting-wise, we were number 3. 3-point-wise, we were only second behind the Sixers, then a pretty big drop-off to the Grizzlies, and then the Rockets after them. So we are one of the top shooting teams entering the playoffs. So let's see what goes from there. Free throw-wise, we are easily number 1 by a wide margin. In terms of rebounds, though, we do not crack the top 10. You're down at 15, middle of the pack, and I'm missing Kylan Moore. We are going to have some real issues, I think, rebounding the basketball. Assists-wise, we're number 4 behind the Rockets, Magic, and Jazz. Steals, we are actually top 10 with 8.3 with our new acquisitions. Blocks per game, though, down at 17. Turnovers, we were middle of the pack. Fouls per game, middle of the pack. Points off turnovers, middle of the pack. Second chance points. We are pretty darn low at 25. And then how about our bench points? Gotta be one of the higher teams here. 16 actually. So, oh well. What about opponent field goal percentage? What does this look like for us? We are actually pretty damn high up there. Top 10. You'll take that. So, no complaints from me. We tend to also defend threes, relatively well. We're top 12, top 13 there. So, all in all, a great year, our best regular season. But now with the colossal injury to Kylan Moore, the blueprints, how does that affect the rest of our year and affect our playoff campaign? I guess we'll find out, guys. What lineups do you want to see? Who should make our top 9 rotation going forward? Leave your thoughts down below based off the stats, based off the record, and who you thought played the best in our showcased little jump-ins there. But a long episode, but it's over now. Now for the Year 8 2032 playoffs coming your way very soon. I'll see y'all there. Thank you all for watching. Please like the video, subscribe if you're new, leave your feedback down below. Postseason coming up next. Take care and have a great day.